Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings, where I will ramble on for approximately 3 hours because you guys have all come to join me on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. That I love the fact that you guys are willing to give me a little bit of your time after the hard weekend, and hopefully you guys all had a wonderful week, a wonderful Monday just to kick off everything. So anyway, uh, thank you guys all for joining me. Anyway, please, you're in here, 30 people already. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It goes a far it goes a far way on every content creator. So anyway, let's get into it. So how was everyone's weekend? We're having we're down to the end of the wonderful weekends, or at least I think that we are. Here in Michigan, I was in the 80s, so it was actually extremely hot, believe it or not. For I mean, we're almost into October. I know everyone thinks October and it's Halloween time, but it's really just preparing for Christmas time for us with little people that are running around. But yeah, I was able to get some yard work done, some stuff that I've been putting off. Things you find out like that your faucet in front of your house no longer turns the water off all the way once you turn it on to water some uh, water the grass that you just planted. So now I have to go into the basement and turn the dial until I get that fixed. But that's gonna be we'll fix that next next spring when it comes, because I think I gotta put a whole new sprocket on, and I think I might just have a plumber come out because the side one has never worked, because I just can't access it properly. So I think maybe it'll be time to have someone come out so I can have the side sprocket on the house actually work rather than pull the hose all the way around. But yeah, it was nice getting outside, just doing some stuff, enjoying it. I had other ideas of things to do. Ended up passing out in the middle of the day on Sunday. I was so damn tired. And you get all these plans to do stuff, and then man, you get exhausted, and then you just pass out. So anyway, um, yeah. So I did do some videos. If you kind of missed it, I really got to get back to the classic videos. I am so far behind, but my idea of having them, having so many locked and loaded and ready to go, I ran out, and then man, it's been nice. And the last thing you want to do is spend time in the house, even if it's in the basement when it's where it's nice and cool. So I'll get back to that, especially going into our fall and then winter. Uh, because man, I think I'm supposed to be going on to series 5, and I'm not even close. I still got series 4 that I have to finish, including the flag, the battle platform for Darren, the hydrofoil or the moray. So, but this week I did get some new stuff, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first off, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. 47 people here already. Thank you very much. Like I said, please hit that like button if you haven't already. So quickly, let's say there's same time toys here. We have 3-star draw saying, "What's up, punk mods?" and a chat. We have GI Bro, who has the best guns in the business. Smog 17, Krusty Old Crow, Machine Man, Izzy Trevi. We have one moderator, Action Figs, and I feel like I just blew out your guys' eardrums by saying it like that. U.S. Combat Dojo, HK Viper, who I actually found out who he is this weekend. So every now and then you get a message and they say, "Hey, I'm so and so," and you're like, "Oh, thank you." Now I kind of have an idea of who you are. Beardy McBearderson is joining us. Sabir Del Norte. Woof. We have Rowdy Riles here, Eric Thurman. We have Largo's Lair, who's been joining us once again. He kind of pops in and out, but when you live in a different country where you think they'd have good coffee, but they don't have good coffee. You never know what you're gonna get. Son of Crayon Slayer, Paul Morales. We have Cobra Slug. What's up, Punk and Chat? We have Debo DNA saying, "What's up? What's up?" Whew, Snow Wolf, Plastic Fantastic, who is already working on something for the snake armor. Um, Yes, something for the snake armor, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And it looks like I must have another window. Hold on, I got to I got another window open, and I want to get rid of that because I don't need that popping up. He's going to be working on something for the snake armor. I shot it over to him. He worked on it super quickly. I was super excited. I'm like, that looks absolutely awesome. Smog 17. I feel like I said your name, but if I didn't, I'm saying it again. We have Skunk Works Studio, who last week my moderator Ed was on. So great to have him on here. Great guy to check out his content. We have Legend Series Tony. Again, if you're not checking him out, and I guess I can confirm it. I have not selected a date, but I believe that his wife will be on Thursday with a friend, probably in the month of November. And I'll be talking about Thursday with a friend shortly. We have a Black Genghis in the house and his partner from the Terradrome, Tony's Figs, joining us. Also, we have Steve Martin, who has quickly become one of my favorite commenters on here and the Circle of Jerks. If you don't know, you need to just follow what he does and what he says, because he says some off-cuff stuff, which makes me laugh. Johnny Reno. We have Men who's 6'10" Yojo Daddy, who has dropped the parentheses. I still couldn't figure out why. Not that it matters. Not that I wanted you to drop it. I just was wondering that one day. I noticed, hey, look, you actually removed him. Cobra Commander is here. Men who's a guy who I do not hate, who for some odd reason thought that I hated him. I thought I was pretty clear on the people that I don't like, but hey, I'm glad that you're here. And here we are, the Crowned Fox. Yes, I asked, and she will be on Thursday with the friend. Again, probably in November. I need to really start looking at who I want to have on or asking people so I can lock the rest of the year down. But I have not because I'm kind of lazy. Crash is joining us. Woo! Let's see here. Look at, she's excited. And I got to say, not that I ever had a problem. I try and go through, find people that have supported me. But when I was sitting in my living room watching her husband, along with Woody, Woody Triple Two, the Figure Addict, Same Time Toys, my daughter was having me ask all kinds of questions, and she was vibing with my daughter. So you know what? If you've made an alliance with my daughter, you are a friend for life with me. We got Floyd Williams jumping in. I feel like I don't know if I've ever seen you before. And you know what? If I haven't, well, here's what we're going to get.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You got to understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
So that's the new thing when someone comes in. Don't take offense to it. If you think I'm calling you an asshole, if you're here, you probably are, though. We'll just call it. And Floyd, if you were here, I just needed another reason to actually play that. So quickly, let me say thank you to Wreckship85. He was my guest on Thursday with the friend last week. Very interesting. We met at Joe Fest 24. I totally remember that. I totally remember that. Anyway, we met we met at 24, took a picture. I didn't really talk to him until last year, and he was one of those people. He took the infamous picture of Tony Squatch. Tony will never, none of us at Joe Fest, we'll all be turning around like this and on, because everyone's gonna be scared crapless to get that picture again. So thanking him. Check that one out. Very interesting. We started early because he's an old man. He's so not, but he has to go to bed early. We have Steve Lorake here. That Steve Martin is such a jerk. Man, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't have my moderator here, but
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
okay. I'm sorry, but I absolutely love Army of Darkness was awesome. I've mentioned it before. That dude, Bruce Campbell, Ash, he is from Royal Oak, Michigan. Same with Sam Raimi. They were best friends growing up and everything. So awesome. Anyway, so check that out. This month there will be no Thursday with the friend. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. Due to the Punkathon, the 36-hour stream on the 24th and the 25th, there was no way that I'm going to do it on Thursday, and then I have to go out of town to I hate Ohio. So I just figured, hey, this is the perfect month just to kind of take it off, not do any, not refresh, but just get a hold of some people, line up the rest of the year, and then going into it next year, because that again, I've been putting these out. Usually when it comes to Thanksgiving, also I do a pre-recorded, so I didn't want to try and do two pre-recordings this month, and then also one for next month, because it's harder and harder to find people that can't do these live. That's why I do the pre-recording. So Allison Troy is joining in here, and then I also saw Stephen Cormerick. I think I said that right. Oh, and then we have Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. But what I was going to get at is, even though there is no Thursday with a friend this month or this week, you can still catch me on Thursday when I am going to be the guest on Toy Domination. Right there is a link to him. If you haven't watched Toy Domination, I just had him on Thursday with a friend a few weeks ago, and he was like, hey, I got to have you on, but they do a show Thursday, which you guys know how I am. I'm pretty, like, Mondays I am busy, Thursdays I am busy. I guess Tuesdays technically I am busy also. And I just reached out to him and said, hey, dude, you mentioned it to me. I am free all the Thursdays of October. And he was like, this is perfect. We're literally sat down to get the schedule. And I'm like, perfect. So this Thursday, check me out, Toy Domination. So go over there, just click that link quickly, hit the remind me, hit the subscribe, all that other good stuff. You know what to do. Cal Shave is joining us. We got Bill K jumping in here. And then we have Shelf Presence saying, hey, collectors. Again, one of the best names, because it really just it is one of those things that as collectors, yeah, we have to keep looking, going, man, we're out of shelf space. Krusty O'Crow says, just sub to them, didn't realize I wasn't. Man, there are so many people that you watch or that you see that you think you're sub to, and you realize you're not, but you continue to watch their stuff, so their stuff kind of pops up. So, and then we have Professor Soundwaves, poor Alice. You're welcome. I don't know what that means, but
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Hey, if it can bring in some new people and get people to stick around, I'm going to play that as much as possible. So great to have you. I'm looking over here. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm still not seeing my moderator, Matthew. I'm assuming he's probably listening, but normally he's jumped in at some point. So in case he jumps in the middle of something while we're doing something, we'll just get this out of the way right now. All right. And then we have G.I. Jetman saying, "Hey, Lawrence and chat, I just wanted to say I'm so glad that I found your review on Roblox Gridiron Loadout. It made my mind to pull the trigger for the roadblock. So thank you." Hey, you have been watching a lot of my stuff, G.I. Jetman. I have not got around to responding to everything. I go through those crazy lulls where if it's brand new stuff, I try and respond. Sometimes when it's older stuff, I don't fully get around to it. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. I've seen all the comments that you make, and believe me, I appreciate you and appreciate everyone that especially goes through the classic reviews and stuff like that. So let's see, 610 Daddy says, "Punk, I dropped them because I like the idea. I appreciate it. They were redundant." I just didn't understand it. But I'm glad that I was able to point something out that needed to be done. I didn't. And I'm not ignoring you. Come on. Say hi. Say hi to Ed. Ed's here. Oh, I'm sorry. Inside jokes. Well, most people probably know what I'm talking about. And Shelf Present says, "Yeah, it's been raining Joe lately. Coast Slither, Crystal Ball, Monkey Wrench, and the Snake Armor all came in last week." Yeah, some of that stuff I've actually had for a while, but the Snake Armor, which I ended up ordering 2 more because they came back into stock. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that I ordered extra just because. We have War Chest for Latoya saying, "For real, Lawrence, why are you ignoring Ed?" I'm sorry, Ed. I'm trying not to. Please don't go scorched earth on the toy tubes. Uh, anyway, quickly, let's look at this poll that I got because it's easier for people to hit. It's easier for people to hit the poll. I cannot believe I just said that. Easier for people to vote in the poll than to actually hit the like button. And it says, "Are you saving for the Punkathon?" I got 52% of people saying yes, 20% say no, and 28% say I hate the kids. And that makes me ask, Allison, how many accounts do you have that you're voting in I hate the kids? Odin01 says, "I caught Crystal Ball back in stock on Pulse the other morning and got 2. I just realized I accidentally had them shipped to my parents' house in another state." At least you're going to get them. I mean, eventually. At least you know you have it, right? Doesn't that really matters? Anyway, let me first say something. Last year we started with it was called the Streamathon. Now everyone voted to call it the Punkathon. 36 hours. We're gonna get more into it. And my thing was I kept saying, hey, if you can't, if you can donate even 99 cents, that's all that matters. But if you don't, why do you hate the kids? And I had someone that was very upset with me who messaged me saying that he found it very offensive that I was saying that because people donate of their own will to other places and maybe they don't have the money. Okay, first up, man, if you don't know my fucking sense of humor yet, maybe this is just not the channel for you. And I did not say anything because he's a friend of another friend. I just kind of kept it to myself. That's normally the type of shit that I go off on because seriously, like, I know that some people can't afford it or they've already donated. They're doing their own stuff, right? And if you take offense to that, then this is not the place for you because I'm going to offend you at some fucking point. And if me saying, hey, if you can't donate 99 cents, why do you hate the fucking kids? That is the fucking minorest of things that I'm going to say to offend someone. So anyway, save your money. That is the only time that I will be begging for super chats, or better yet, sending it directly to my PayPal so we can completely avoid any of the we can completely avoid any of the charges that we are that YouTube says, "Hey, I need to take all of this." Sean Forrester jumping in here saying, "Just got Sarge and Mercer from Amazon, and just got the diver's email from Paul Snake Armors arrived tomorrow, and pre-orders for Monster Force are charging. Lots of stuff coming." Oh yeah, we're gonna get into all that. We are going to get into all of that really shortly. So last week I did drop a bunch of stuff. I got 2 Mythic Legions. One being Otho, I think I got it right now, and then Orzak. Most of you don't know because nobody watched the videos. But I said it in my review. Otho was a figure that I don't know what I was on, but I was clearly on with Joe Gonsalves, and he was showing it off and was explaining like it was part of like the original run, and they only made as many that were pre-ordered. And I thought the figure was awesome. So when I saw it pop up, it was one of those ones that I felt that I absolutely had to have. And I think the figure is awesome. He looks great. So I was happy to get that. I like what Mythic Legions is doing, what the 4 Horsemen are doing, going back and allowing people to get stuff, but also changing it. So the ones that actually do have stuff or have the originals, they don't lose the value in them. Payne's Toy Samples jumping in here saying, "Hey kids and Larry," and 610 Yojo Daddy saying, "If you don't have thick skins, don't watch Punk. Do better." Dude, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, I'm not the most offensive person on the internet, but I also really like to cater too much to people, although I was told that I cater to people, which is kind of odd that someone would say that. Anyway, I did get a couple Gridiron stuff in. Again, if you ever order stuff from Gridiron, you know it takes quite some time for them to ship stuff out. I think that this stuff was about a month out that it took me to order, and at least now on the website it does tell you anywhere from I think 20 to 27 days before they ship it out. These things are being made in house. I won't really get too much into it. I do think that their delivery system maybe should be a little bit better, but hey, I'm not in that process working. I just think the communication can definitely be better on some things. But either way, I dropped 2 different rig sets. What are they called? The big rig. It was V1, V2. One is for the machine gun. One is for an actual grenade launcher. The machine gun, again, Jeremy Kimberlin. He popped the Rattler gunner, the Whitehead on the Retro Viper because he made a comment about like, dude, it just looks too good, and it does. So I did the same thing, and I had him there, and I really liked him, but I needed to make him his own character, and I saw this rig, and it was actually with a Viper, and I saw it with a regular head for a Cobra Trooper, and I'm like, boom, that's what I need. And then I just ordered the other one, and I really wasn't sure who I was going to use that with, and I went with the Trench Viper. Who knows? I might switch that around, but who knows? So I got those. Check those out if you are interested. Gridiron does make some pretty good product, but you have to be careful with it, right? Because it is 3D printed. And clearly they know it because on that machine gun, there is a metal rod that goes through it. So it will not start to sag. It won't get limp on you. You won't need any little blue pills or anything. And then we got Alex Martinez jumping in and saying, "Mr. Punk, you rock, sir, watching you from San Diego." Thank you. It is amazing that we can touch, not just reach people all over the country, but all over the world. So thank you very much. And then we got Boba Fett Gaming jumping in and saying hi to everyone. Whew. All right. Turn my fan on. And then for G.I. Joe, big shout out to Sergeant Reds. They got the snake armor in. As most of you know, mine got canceled when I went to cancel my Law and Order. And even though other things were canceled earlier on that same order, Pulse just decided to cancel the whole thing, which had snake armor and the divers on it. Divers I was never too concerned with because I knew that they were going to be readily available. The snake armor I was pretty aggravated about. But Sergeant Red's got them in, and they were able to. We've done some exchanging in the past, so they were able to hook me up. So I didn't pay an arm and a leg to get them. Then my one of my partners on the Circle of Jerks, David motherfucking Speck, Toy Optics, messaged me. He must not have seen that I did the review and said, "Hey, they're in stock on Pulse right now." And I was like, "Dude, you know what? I don't need it." And then I looked and I'm like, "I want 2 more." So I ordered 2 more. And I have an idea to put them with the Supreme Cobra Commander in the Cobra Throne. I think it'd be a great armor. I think I actually talked about it in the review, so I'm pretty excited for that. Cobra Slug says Mercer's head fits perfectly on the Retro Viper. So stoked about it. Well, his body is already a Viper style, the colors and everything, and I should have those tomorrow. So those should come in tomorrow after Circle of Jerks. I'll probably record it and drop that review if I'm lucky. If you guys are lucky, actually, Wednesday morning. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, big shout out to Sergeant Wrights for that. And then I got the Slice and Dice. Now I've never had Slice and Dice. I was actually looking for Slice and Dice, the O-ring, so I could compare them. And unfortunately, the only way that I was able to get a Slice was at Nerd Out in Oak Park, Michigan. Again, we have wonderful toy stores here in Michigan. So if you're ever here, please, hit me up. I will kind of direct you on where to go, and some good places. Maybe we can meet up or whatever. But Randy there, I came in there, I asked him, and he's like, "Well, I have one." He goes, "I have 1 Slice." He goes, "But his O-ring's broken. I don't know, maybe you can." And he was really polite, and he said, "You know what? Take him. He's already broken." I did figure out how to fix or how to pop open the glued figures. Now I've done it before with, I want to say I did it with Xandar, but I really wasn't paying attention. I watched on the internet. One guy really made me laugh, but he wasn't the most informative person because he had already done it, but he's very comical, and I don't even remember what his name was. He was someone that I have heard of before, but I don't think I'd ever watched his stuff. But he basically said, boil it and then pop it. The popping it thing is what kind of confuses people, and I kind of figured out a good way to do it. I wish I would have recorded it, so I'm going to be looking for some of those Ninja Forces, anyone's that's glued together, so I can do an actual review on how to pop them open. It's actually pretty easy, and it's easier than people realize. And what's cool is if the pegs don't break, you don't even have to glue it back together. But what a dumb idea by Hasbro. But they probably never thought the O-rings would break because, right, they never broke. Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, "I'm planning on modifying a Frag Viper so I can have the cybernetic head look like it's wired into the snake armor." That might work. That might work, especially if you don't have to show the body. I didn't try that. The snake armor is not going to fit some people. I'll just say that. Like, if you saw my video, the Trench Viper, it is not going to fit. He sits way too high, which is unfortunate. Tech 489 jumping in here. Woof. So Slice and Dice. Again, thank you to Randy at Nerd Out. Slice is awesome. The Big Trouble in Little China. I think that's right? That hat and everything, he looks so awesome. I like the reds. It pops. The weapons are a little lackluster when it comes to paint, but when you look at dices, you kind of see where all the money went. Also, a lot of new tooling. Like I don't know that hat and the like the scarf or whatever they have. You can only use it on so much. Obviously, we'll get other ninjas and stuff like that. So the weapons and the paint's a little, a little. There's a little left to be desired, but like I was talking to Tony today, and he's like, "Dude, get some paint out and paint it yourself, right?" Like people that are bitching about it, get out, you paint and do what you want to do to it. It's not that hard, right? And then we get to dice. Now, I never had these figures. I do remember them being at Target, not at Target, at Toys R Us as a kid. I mean, I was a young adult. I was a skateboarder, probably 16 at the time. Mr. Wonderful jumping in here saying, I'm here to do better. You need to do better. I can tell you that. But anyway, I had seen the complaint that people had when it came to what they said they don't have the butterfly joints on dice. And I do believe he does have butterfly joints. Killer King jumping in here saying, "Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Been a long time though. I don't think it's been that long. And you are an a-hole. You know what? Just because you said you are, where is it at here? Just because.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before."
The hi, it's me jumping in here. So Slice and Dice are from the Ninjago team, right? They could be. They could be. So a lot of people complaining that Dice does not have butterfly joints. I believe that is incorrect. He does have butterfly joints from what I can tell. Every G.I. Joe has butterfly joints. If you know what the butterfly joints are, it's the cut in right here. And it allows you to move your arms over. Unfortunately, the butterfly joints pretty much suck. They're more for aesthetic. They work really, really well going back. Other companies, Operation Monster Force, they work awesome. Valaverse, theirs are done really well. There are some in the Marvel Legends, mostly on like Spider-Man, like the Maximum Spider-Man. The new Wolverine, I believe, has them. Well, it's not that Dice doesn't have them, from what I can tell. It has these really stupid shoulder pauldrons that are inserted into it. So it doesn't allow you to use it. Now, before anyone says, you're making excuses for them, I'm not making excuses. I am saying it does have butterfly joints from what I can tell. The problem is they inserted these stupid fucking shoulder pauldrons into it. So not only can he not cross over, which they can't really anyway. That's a whole nother issue. You probably heard me complain about it. His arm doesn't even go up all the way. It stops right around here. Now, I just happened to have a Techno Viper that was sitting there because I had him in the snake armor, and I remembered he has a pauldron up here, but it sticks up here, and there's just a small piece of rubber that goes over it. So when his arm moves, the pauldron will move out of place so he can actually move his arm. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, because you took a ninja and you chopped off his balls for the most part, right? He can't move like he should be able to. I already wish that they were cut more, so like Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes can actually hold a sword like this. Now I know people say you have to bend their elbows. That's not the same, but that's where the problem is. They technically do have them, but they made them even worse than what people have actually kind of said, because his arms don't even go all the way over. Now, luckily, he just has this big giant bow staff, which he can hold it together, or he has two little short swords, but it doesn't change the fact. A ninja is like a ninja. They don't exist. They're not real. Now, okay, first off, I'm not going to say that they're bad, because Slice is really good. And the dice head sculpt that looks like Professor Xavier's twin brother that he didn't know that he had. Actually, I think he knew that he did have a twin brother. Fucking, it's awesome. Like that's the only complaint. Well, I mean, the weapon's not having the paint. They could use a little bit more, but in all honesty, they are they're actually really good figures. The color scheme is awesome, but again, in the review, I was like, there's like Lenny told his intern to do it, and like the factory was like, hey, anyone want to look at? No, just fucking, it's good. No, but his arm, no, hey, just fucking make it. So it was a huge miss, and it's unfortunate because again, ninjas need that articulation. So, Largo says shoulder pauldrons are overrated, kind of like Rob Liefeld's pockets on bandoliers. I'm normally with you. I can understand where his are. They're not supposed to be big shoulder pauldrons. I'm normally with you, but again, if you look at, and I know you're not big into classified, but like when you look at the Techno Viper, it's just a little rubber piece here so it can move. It's like you already knew how to do it. I don't know why you didn't do it here. We have Jake Anderson jumping in here, say, "Ball chopping. What kind of show? What kind of show are you doing tonight?" Hey, anything that gets me to 100 viewers, I'll do it. The nerd alert jumping in here. Weapons are trash. Ninjas with butter swords. Come on. Well, again, I don't. They're not the greatest weapons, but they serve their purpose for what they need. All right. Again, remember these toys are for 4 and up, whether you like it or not. Right? They are for 4 and up. So whether you like it or not, again, they could do a little bit more, but you're not going to get the hard NECA weapons or Mythic Legion weapons. So again, you have to remember what you're like, who you're dealing with. You're not dealing with a 14 and up. Just remember that. And then we have Mudhorn Station jumping in here. 3-star says Slice and Dice are good, but it's like they went 75% with both of them and left the 25% off the different areas. I don't think there's anything wrong with Slice. The figure. Dice, yes. And the weapons. The weapons leave a lot to be desired with the paint and everything. But yeah. The Nerd Alert says they give you accessories you don't want and shit on the ones you want. Again, you have to remember everything's not being made directly for you. All right. And I don't mean that to be a complete dick, but everything's not being made directly for you. It is supposed to broaden out to other people, and they'll use those weapons for other things. Now, whether you like those weapons or want those weapons is something completely different. We can go back and forth about that all day. That is why there are third parties that make weapons. But they give you the weapons that technically go with the actual figures if you want them to be, classic. That's all that that's all that I can really say on that. But again, you're entitled to your opinion. Believe me, I'm not going to sit there and try and change anyone with that. So Percy L is jumping in here saying, will we have an Iron Grenadier card retro? I think so. I think eventually we will, because first off, it's an army builder, and that is a figure that if you're going to do like classic figures, like that's one that needs a proper Iron Grenadier suit. Tony jumping in here with a member for 24 months. I can't believe I've had memberships for actually over 2 years. But I have, and you know what you get?
Fucking Phil Collins.
Right there. That's what you get, Tony. A fucking Phil Collins. But I'm just kind of quickly through here. Professor Soundwave says ninjas did exist in Japanese culture. They were named shinobi before ninjas. Just telling you, man. Hey, you can talk to my moderator, Matthew Matson. If you want to be wrong, you are more than welcome to disagree with him. Just know this: Matthew has never been wrong. Ed can tell you. And the Nerdler says GameStop charging $60 for Law and Order. Are they? I mean, you can go get them at Walmart. Isn't he like 45? That's odd because they've been more on the sides, right? They've been more on the same price scale. I thought they came down in their prices, but I don't really shop there too often. So, Toyo Low 4x4. You think it's worth getting 2 slice and dice for troop building? The head sculpts are so different. No. I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask because I buy a lot of stupid shit. No, but it is unfortunate that the head sculpt, if you took another ninja, let's say from one of the hand ninjas from Marvel Legends, you'd have to do some dremeling out of the head on the slice and dice ones, or you'd have to sand down the head peg on the hand ninjas. But I'm with you, and that's how they get you. I wouldn't, but I really do like the alternate heads on. Like they have really good alternate heads, and if you get maybe a red ninja, you might be able to make it work. Baldy Locks reviews one part of the Circle of Jerks. Shoulder pauldrons are for action dolls. That shoulder pads are for designing women. They should look better. Okay, I agree. Hey, the best thing is we can disagree and not hate each other, man. Like again, I have my opinion, and one thing when you're doing a solo show, you sometimes come off like a dick, and I don't think you think I'm coming. I mean, you're in here enough, right? We just have difference of opinions, and that's fine because we're not supposed to have the exact same opinion. Could you imagine if everyone thought like me? I mean, the world would be fucking awesome. Don't get me wrong. The world would be awesome, but hey. And then Gun Bunny Custom. Hey, look here. Like here's the AKs that I'm gonna eventually send to you. They finally got moved up here. I just got to make sure I got to get them out. Josh, they are gonna come. I promise. Look, they're already bagged up. I'm sorry, it's driving me. I keep meaning to, and then I totally forget. So, Gun Bunny, those guns are going to come to you. I haven't forgotten about you, as you can see. BQ King jumping in here. Woo! All right. Stew for lunch. Look at this. Greetings to Punk and all you fine punketeers and punkettes. And then we got Frank Demunia on here saying Punk with chat and Punk with toys and chat catching up on the replay later. Hey, glad that any of you guys can jump in here. Steve Martin says they are real. They were on that movie where that white guy was a samurai. Dude. The Last Samurai was a movie that we ended up seeing because something was sold out. And my buddy and I were like, you know what? I'm never going to believe that Tom Cruise can be a samurai. But you know what? We're at the movies. What we wanted to see was sold out. Let's go see it. And not only was I pleasantly surprised, I absolutely love that movie. And by the end, I actually believe that he could become a samurai. So, yeah. And Professor Soundwave says, I'm right. You have to accept when you're wrong. I didn't say that. Hey, I did not say that I can't. I said my moderator, Matthew Matson, has never been wrong. Benjamin Moore jumping in here said, I disputed my Coco on the Rumbler. Got a refund and ordered one from BBTS. It will arrive this week. I'm sorry. I disputed my credit card on my Rumbler, got a refund, and ordered one from BBTS. It will arrive this week. I won't order from Mezco again. Benjamin Moore. It was a nightmare, and I have no problem. And if you know what we're talking about the Mezco Rumbler, right? I have no problem with what happened, right? It ships from a different distribution. if they're not actually housed there. I have no problem, and I think you kind of felt the same way. I mean, I had no problem with something. It got lost, right? And a bunch of them got lost, but their lack of caring that we spent $350, it's after taxes and everything, that we spent $350 on a fucking truck, and we're like, hey, everyone else is getting it. Our label is just saying that it's, that it's been made. The fact that they can't respond, say, oh shit, you know what? Let's look into this and see what's going on. That was bullshit. So, again, I have no problem with somebody disputing with their credit card because you should have. It's one of those things where they're not, they suck with customer service. We all know that. But the problem is, like, they should have done better. Like, I think most of us were pretty pissed off about that had to wait for it. Because I feel like had I not contacted all those people and brought it like to their attention of like, hey, I'm going to start doing this because I know other people are having the same issue, then they'd still be just kind of sitting there and we'd all be waiting like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? So anyway, really, really aggravating. And then Steven Larake jumping in saying, can we get a Michael Dudikoff American Ninja fig? There are so many ninjas. Why not add Dudikoff's version? Well, Ramen is supposed to be working on one. I know they had it at Joe Fest 24. I don't know if it was there I don't know if it was there in 25, but okay, yeah, it's not Robin. He was in the ramen booth. I can tell you that it was kind of brought up to me. He's not the most trustworthy person who's supposed to be doing it. I don't know anything about that. It's just something that somebody brought up to me, that the person that was supposed to be doing it isn't the most trustworthy. So I don't really know. I guess we'll see if it actually comes out or not. All right. Whew. Wow, all that off of what I reviewed. I still have more shit to talk about. So once again, let me throw this up here. There's 88 people watching right now. No Thursday with a friend this month, but this Thursday I will be on Toy Domination. I will give you the link right here, so make sure you click on it, because according to him, I think there's another type of Toy Domination. There's like another Toy Domination that he said you probably don't really want. But hey, I don't know. I'm not searching that type of Toy Domination. I have the internet for that, not YouTube. But anyway, whew. Okay. So quickly, the Funkathon. It will be on the 24th and 25th of October. I will start at noon, and we will go into the next day. I will be on till at least midnight. I will take a short break around 6 a.m. when most of you guys will be sleeping, so I can get a little bit of rest, fresh up, and Ed will take over with the Clubhouse Cafe. So there'll probably be a few people on. Either way, Ed will be on, so he can take over throughout it. Again, it's going to be broken down into 4 streams, because after 12 hours, it goes blind, where you can't see it. Everything that is made from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday goes to Toys for Tots. Last year, we made $3,025. I want to break $4,000. Now, remember, it's not, if you're donating through YouTube, Super Chats also, we get dinged on them. So if you want to donate directly, I will give out my PayPal at the time. Again, I feel like I'm trustworthy enough now at this point. I did it last year. You guys know where I'm at every Monday and Tuesday and almost every Thursday. So I'd be an idiot to take $3,000 and run and not do what we're supposed to. But we teamed up with Sergeant Reds once again. They give us a discount. It's all new toys. And then we give the Toys for Tots. Sarge John, he is a Marine, a former Marine. I didn't want to say Marine, but you're not supposed to say former Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine, right? But he has, believe it or not, the guy's name is Larry Bogus, Sergeant Larry Bogus, which I thought was actually kind of funny because I thought he was joking when he said his last name was Bogus, and I thought little Larry was a jab at me, and come to find out it wasn't. That's who the guy is. But we're going to be doing this once again, running all the way through. I have a list of different people that will be on for sure, different shows that we're going to be having on, but at the same time, I will have people in between the shows where they can come on, talk about shit. I mean, there's gonna obviously we'll be able to talk about all kinds of different things because once again, there's a lot of stuff to get into. But the one thing that I did last year that was kind of thrown in at the last second was how to do giveaways. And it's too hard for me to do giveaways. People would talk about, hey, you know what? Whoever donates the most in this hour window, but I don't want to track that. That's a pain in the ass. So we're doing tiers once again. And what I mean by that is when we hit specific tiers for the Black Friday giveaway, it's the more stuff that I will give away. So as of right now, I have a Dark Lawn, a Breaker. I also have this Mythic Legions Sir Gideon, which is absolutely awesome. I have one myself that we will be giving away if we hit specific tiers. I also have the Divers coming. I believe I have maybe 2 crystal balls coming. If I am correct, I believe Plastic Fantastic is supposed to be printing something that will probably be the grand prize giveaway. Now, if you're wondering how we do the giveaways, it is done on Black Friday. And what I do is I give you guys a week. I create a video. You have to put your name in it. Anyone that's already a channel member already gets their name put in. So if you put your name down once again, then you can get your name put in twice. 2 times, you might get a chance to win. So you might have a chance to win 2 times. Last year was the first year that I've done Black Friday giveaway, I think, for 3 years. I think last year was the 3rd year. This was the first time tying it in. And right before the 2 last prizes was the final prize, the grand prize, was a there are no last minute entries this year. We went through it last year. The name that you put down has to be your name that we see on the screen. We're not going to try and figure it out again. All right. That's what it is. This name. So if Ed fucking went in and put Ed down, and that's what it lands on, and it's action figs, you don't fucking win. It's that simple. But anyway, so what we do is I put all the names in. You have 1 week to put your name in there, and then we spin. You have to be there for the Black Friday giveaway. If you're not there and it lands on your name, we pull the name out, and then we spin again. And we give you more than enough time. So it's not like, hey, as soon as it lands, if you don't say, hey, that's me, you have more than enough time. And again, if you're a channel member, you have a chance to win twice. Now, again, if during the Punkathon, you become a channel member, anything that I make goes to the Toys for Tots charity. So by that time, you should still be a channel member. So this way it kind of works out for you. Last year, I was on the phone with Tony's Figs, right before I did the stream. And the first 2 years I did it alone. And I'm like, hey, why don't you just jump on with me? And I didn't say anything to Tony about this. I've told him since then. Kenzo's Creations, happy Monday, stopping in to say hi while my Broncos whoop up on some Bengals. Yeah, that's got to be hard to beat up on a team that has no quarterback. So anyway, I said, why don't you just come on with me? You know, you're not working, whatever. But my biggest fear was it landing on Tony's name while we were spinning, because I knew what everyone would say, that this is rigged. So the top prize was a 3D printed Wolverine. The second prize was a wreckage and the four wheeler. I don't even remember what the Tiger Force four wheeler is called. Well, we get to that one, and I spin, and sure enough, it lands on Tony's name. Like, see, like rigged. Tiger Paw, thank you very much. And Tripwire is the one that actually donated it. So you didn't have I told people, I said the only person that can the only person that can choose not to take the Tiger Paw would be this guy because he donated it, right? So if you donated whoever donated something, and not the only one, because Crow also donated something. I said the only person, like if it lands on something you donated, then you can pick something else. Because I'm not going to send you back to your thing that you donated for this. And sure enough, it lands on Tony. And I was like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. And he kind of went back and forth. I really don't want it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like you can't pick the other thing. He's like, no, you know what? Give it to the next person. Now, mind you, if Tony would have taken it, that's fair, right? I cannot rig it. Everyone can say that it was rigged all you want. Nothing I can do. I cannot fucking rig it. I would have loved to have been able to rig it. Just to see how it would work, but I don't think that it's even possible to. So sure enough, he says, no, you know what? Let it go to the next person. I'm like, all right, cool. We spin again, and it fucking lands on Tony's name again. Again, he's a channel member, so he did his name in twice. We didn't do it on purpose. He did not accept either one. With that said, he was Plastic Fantastic was gracious enough to 3D print him a Wolverine and send it to him. But I don't see that happening again. But I think Tony is going to join me. Go back and watch it. It's fucking hilarious. All you gotta do is scan, like flip through it to when you see that it lands on Tony's name. I think you'll laugh your ass off. I know everyone else seemed to laugh and find it funny. Louis Figueroa, the Tiger Paw, yes. And I did just check, and dude, I don't know what it is, but
wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
New person in the chat, so I gotta highlight that. That's my new thing. I've been thinking about doing that for a while, and I finally got around to doing it. Joe Gunsolves jumping in here, and again, this is the reason why I had to get that Otho figure, because he showed it off. I don't even remember what we're on, but that figure was awesome. So anyway, that's how we're going to do the Black Friday giveaway. It's all going to tie in. I'm probably going to do tiers, depending on how much stuff that I get. Every 500, we will unlock another tier for the giveaway. Yeah, Snow Wolf. And the best thing, again, Tony was, it was my biggest fear that it was going to land on Tony's name. When I had him on, I'm like, shit, dude, if this lands on it, I know what's going to happen. Never did I think that when I spun the second time after his name was removed, that it would land on him again. Now, mind you, there was I believe, over 200 people, 200 names in it. So the fact that it could land on his name again it blew my fucking mind. But it was a lot of fun. Everyone had a blast with it. So once again, that's how we're going to do it again. But again, the more we raise, the more we'll give away. And again, we'll just keep pulling names out. The channel has grown. The channel has grown by, I think, over 2,000 since last year. So if we raised, 3,000 last year, there's no reason why we can't raise 4,000 this year or more. But yeah. Beardy McBearderson says, unlocking tiers better include some freaking patches. I should see if I can find some patches to give away. So anyway, that's how we're going to do that. All right. quickly before we get into the news of what we have going on. Sponsors, you guys all know Hella Dope Toys. Use my code APWT of Punk with Toys. So APWT, you'll get 10% off your entire order when going through Hella Dope Toys. Hopefully, they're going to start restocking on some stuff. We're coming into the Christmas seasons, but if they have anything that goes up there, it is anything that goes up. You can get pre-order stuff. No one else really does that. So, check them out. Amazon, when you see the links, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you guys anything. You're already ordering from Amazon. So click one of those links and help support the channel. EE, Entertainment Earth. I know no one really likes to order from them, but hey, they did have the police officers. And then the one I got to mention, and I haven't really pushed it, and that is Top Fun Retro 3D. I'm sorry, Top Fun Retro Toys 3D.com. There's a lot of the weapons that I make. If you use my code Punk with Toys, drop the A, you'll get 10% off. The reason why I'm saying that is I was in the chat with Mikey and Tony, Legend Series, and there was a bunch of people saying how much they bought from Top Fun Toys, and the first one that was talking about, I think, buying something was Jetman, and I was like, "Hey, hit me up. I'll give you the code so you can get 10% off." Daredevil Dave then said, "I've spent like $300 there. I wish I would have known." So again, if you want to go there, they have great weapons, great 3D weapons. He's made crates. Really affordable too. That's the biggest thing. But you can also use that code Punk with Toys. You get 10% off the entire order. And again, we're all trying to save, especially when it comes to 3D printed stuff. We know that stuff is, it gets expensive, right? And someone said, "Hi, it's me." Says Punk with toy patches would look great. Man, I'd have to look in to see if I can get those made. We have there's also merchandise too, right? Look, I think I have a banner. I think it tells you like everything that we kind of have here. Look at this. But we do have merchandise. I don't think I have any patches on there. There are some stickers. I still have stickers left. If anyone wants stickers, hit me up on Gmail at punkwithtoys@gmail.com. Give me your address and I'll send you out a couple stickers. I still have stickers left over from Joe Fest 2024. So I definitely need to start, need to get rid of them so I can get some more. Hit me up, Crow. Like, well, if you would have went to Joe Fest, you would have got more stickers. And look, 3-star says, "I'm putting a Top Fun retro rifle on my Viper's hand right now." Yeah. If you want the actual retro Viper gun for any of your Vipers, he has them, and he has them in white. It was one of the first things I messaged him. I'm like, "Hey, you need to do these in white. Those retro Vipers are coming, and I know people are going to want them." And when I saw him at Joe Fest, he was like, "Here you go." I was like, "What do you want for him?" He's like, "Dude, you sold me so many of these. Like, I can't keep these in stock right now." So please check those out. And again, if you're interested in any merchandise, I should probably wear my shirts more often. We do have shirts and stuff at the store. It's in the description. But anyway, I think it's time to get in. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Well, let's quickly get into I don't even know where it's at anymore.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Woody Triple Two, the figure addict, saying, "What kind of poll question is that? Don't tell me what to do. I'll show you, punk. Take that, this sucker." And you know what? You always get it. The poll was because you might have missed it when I started, and thank you for the super chat. It's much appreciated. Last year there was someone, because that was my big thing. Hey, if you can't donate 99 cents, why do you hate the kids? I had somebody message me saying they weren't happy that I said that. They were offended by it. There's a lot of a lot of us would donate other ways, and we don't have the money. I'm like, and I didn't say anything. Again, if you don't know my sense of humor, And again, if that's what offends you by something I say, this is probably not the show for you. Viper Scout jumping in here saying, "Hey all right. Well, you know what? Time to get into some news, but I need a breather." Says, "Yo, people's listening, still opening the 20 snake armors. Did you really get 20? I ended up ordering 2 more, so I have 3 coming. I know it's no Woody, but man, after having the 1, I was like, I need 2, so I can put them on either side of Supreme Cobra Commander. So I was yeah. And Stew for Lunch just became a channel member, so you know what you get is a
Welcome to the Creamery.
thank you very much. All right, so time to hear from one of our sponsors as I take a quick breather as I'm starting to die here. So where's it at?
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over his stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch my cell for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, "Oh, dang, Mouse Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine." And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like I opened up the box and I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all save. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, "Oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used." And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
All right. So 84 votes in the poll, but only 53 likes. Now you see why I put the poll up there. I can kind of get a better idea. So quickly, Hi to me says, "I was cruelly hoping Punk wouldn't be able to get a snake armor." I think that's what he meant. Why am I disappointed in his wins? So not only was I able to get it from Sergeant Reds and not pay an arm and a leg for it, I'll say this. I had at least 4 people reach out to me that said they were willing to, they had a second or third one that they were willing to sell me at cost. This is the reason why, and I'll say it again, you make friends in the community. You don't be a complete asshole. You don't be a complete dick. And you work with people. And that goes both ways. So, like you make friends in the community. And again, I'm not trying to be a dick towards you. I think you know that. But this is just for everyone. Like you make friends in this community, man. And when someone has something you become friends with, maybe they can get you something when you're not able to. But you have to return the favor. Don't be that guy that is always like, hey, can you get this? Can you get this? Can you get this? And then when someone says, hey, I might be busy, do you think you can get this? Or hey, you're going to the show. Oh, I don't know. Like, fuck you. Like, I give you the one chance, and again, I don't expect you to. But if you're, if you do the hum and hawing of like, oh, well, I don't know how many, like, fuck you. I asked you if you could try. You've asked me for 5 different things that I've helped you out with. And now when I'm asking you for one thing, and you guys all know the fucking person. It's the person that fucking every time he has to move or needs help, he helps you. But when you need a fucking refrigerator moved downstairs, they're like, oh, well, it's like, you know what? Fuck you. But also don't call me when you need something. Just again, it's very easy. How if an asshole like me can make friends in this community, they're YouTube friends, so I don't know how much friends they really are. You all can. Stu for Lunch says only 20. Very very disappointed in your lack of commitment, Woody. Toyolo, I think I'm saying it right. Toyolo 4x4. I'm dealing with that person right now. He's holding out on my snake armor that he ordered for me. Again, that's Ed. I have just as many friends as you do in this community. That's even worse. Like if somebody actually ordered it for you, and you're like, "Hey, here's the fucking money," and now they're like, "Well, I kind of want to keep it." It's like, "Well, wait a minute, no, you ordered it for me. Like we had an agreement." And again, and it's not just like this in toys. I think we all know this, right? It's just how people get to be. And it's like they see something. Oh, well, I ordered one, but I really like the second one. I think I'm going to keep it. It was like, did we had an agreement? We had an agreement. If the agreement was, hey, I ordered 2. If I'm not super interested in the second one, I'll sell it to you at cost. And then they're like, hey, I really like these. That's why I ordered 2. But I had numerous people reach out to me. So, and again, I do understand what I do. Yes, it's so slimy. I know where Tech was that day. Hey, Joe Fan 84 jumping in here. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of toy news, and we'll start off with some Masters of the Universe. I am trying having the chat right down here. I'm assuming this chat here. This is on the beta version. You guys can't see it, but I'm assuming that is really for people that are watching on a TV. So I noticed when it's on and there's multiple people on, it might be in their way, so you don't want it on. But I think for this, it might work out pretty well. Anyway, yeah. Look at Ed says yes. Lawrence is nice. He sent me a Footloose just to be nice. That is correct. I did because I'm just a nice guy. Anyway, I don't understand this, but I like it. And I'll be 100% honest. I did not, I put the stuff in there and,
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
So we have Hordak and we have some other guy. I don't know who the other guy is. Is another version of Hordak. I know there's some Motu people in here. So tell me. I think this mace looks awesome. It looks like he's glow in the dark. And we will find out. Yes, this guy does play guitar. John Battle jumping in here saying that sounds like a gentleman's agreement to dishonor that would bring shame to your family and the gallows. You're absolutely correct. Especially if you said, hey, you know what? I can get you one. Or you've asked someone to. But we all know that people do this stuff. So anyway, these things look pretty cool. I've mentioned it before. I'm no longer into Masters of the Universe. I sold off almost my whole entire Origins collection. Not the whole entire Origins, because I still have this guy, right? Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey. Is Tony's fake still here? I think he's on the bus right now. Oh no. I think he has a life to save. But he'll watch it on the replay and he'll be like, oh my god, look, there's Moss Man. I love Moss Man. Right. And he's on a polar bear. Moss Man is not my voice. I do a poor imitation of Ted Darklaw doing Moss Man. But he does have a guitar. He rocks out he plays love songs on his guitar. I don't know who the hell this guy is. Cobra Commander saying Motu for life. Cal Shave says Modak and so much Modak. Mordak. I have no idea who this is, but I think that this is absolutely I think this looks really good. And I've said before, I think Origins has done a wonderful job getting better as the line is like literally dying, like going away. I mean, I know it was predicted to go away many years ago by the toy guru, but it's it's still here. Action Fake says he's the devil from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Okay. He might be for all I know. Still have that monkey buddy. Oh, yes. Boy, that came out so wrong. Before anyone wonders what the Jake Anderson has an extra monkey from Naga Hide because somehow I lost the monkey from, and you know what? I'll tell you what, I've gone through all of this stuff here. And I still haven't found them. So we'll get together in the next, maybe this weekend. I mean, I don't think I have anything going on until I have everything going on. Todd C says, I'll get this. I see it on clearance just for the guitar and the mace. And I like the accessories. They look pretty cool. And then we have this. And I know there's people really mad about this. Like, who asked for this? I don't know. You don't have to buy it, though. I mean, it is crazy that you don't have to buy something you don't want. I'm just saying. But I do have to say, some of the stuff that they do with this, I think is absolutely cool. And what I mean by that is, they don't just take like Optimus Prime. He has the axe that he uses in the cartoon movie. And then, his sword is the matrix of leadership. Do I want this? I have no interest in this at all. Will people that like Transformers or Optimus Prime or He-Man? Yeah, possibly. But I think it actually looks pretty cool. And it might be a mashup that no one wanted, but I think it's done pretty well. The Pauldrons, again, you have his smokestacks, you have the Autobot symbol on it. I think it's actually pretty fun, to be honest. Toyo, look at me over here not buying it. It's still awesome. Exactly. And you're allowed to criticize things that you don't like. And I'm not saying you're allowed to criticize things you don't like. But man, when you lose your shit and that's your whole YouTube or Instagram, like it's just being negative, I mean, that just shows who you are. And again, not someone I really want to be around. Cobra Slug says, reminds me of Optimus and Peacemaker had a baby. Yeah, I can see it. I can actually see that for some reason. Andrew Taylor jumping in here saying, I'm holding out for the Thundercats, My Little Pony crossover. That's one of those crossovers we didn't know we needed till just now. Steve Martin says, somebody is geeking out behind these mashups, and I'm happy for them. Yeah, when it came to the Turtles Motu mashup, I know there were some people that were super excited for it. My buddy's Customs was super excited. He said, like, this was my dream as a kid. Like, these are my two prime things. And to now see this, I'm so happy for it. And you're absolutely right. I don't have to like it. I don't have to buy it. I don't have to talk about it. I think it's interesting though. Okay. I don't think it's anything great, but I mean, how many toys are really great? So here He-Man is all dressed as Optimus Prime. And I do like the Matrix of Leadership. I liked what they did with the shield, and I definitely like the axe. There's the box for it. Optimus Prime armor. Now this one is all the right. All right, like this. Now I thought this was Skeletor. This is Scareglow. I actually did some research. I just happened to read it. Obviously, this is Starscream as Scareglow. I will once again say it. Scareglow is the greatest glow-in-the-dark figure ever made. He was $15, and the motherfucker will glow all goddamn night. I mean, he loses it, but he still glows. Krusty says, will Battle Cat be Optimus Prime trailer? Ooh, that's, you know what? That's interesting. So the Scareglow here, as we can see, his axes are Starscream's wings. He has the cape. The helmet just, it works. Like this figure works. He has the crown. I know. Again, this is directly from the 86 movie. Is it 86, I think? I saw it in theaters. And I didn't cry when Optimus died or when Megatron died. But this is all the right. Like, this is awesome. This is one that if I see it on clearance, I could see myself picking up just because it has a cool crown. But yeah, I like this. I think this is actually really cool. But again, if it's not your thing, then you just walk by and you go, hey, there's no reason for it. I don't believe Scareglow glows. That would be awesome. Then I definitely have to have it. But yeah, I think this one looks awesome. So this is the one bad part about the Transformers movie, that Optimus Prime did save Duke. And you know my feelings on Duke. I wish Duke would have died, and then they would have said, oh my God, we have to save Optimus Prime. That's what they should have done. I'm just saying. So here we have the look of Scareglow as Starscream. And again, I think he works, right? I mean, he looks, absolutely awesome. It's what he's supposed to be. So just looking at some things really quick here. But anyway, so what we have here, man, I'm lost it. Quickly, Edward has just become a new member. So you're going to get a quick, it's somewhere here.
Welcome to the Creamery.
But I also don't feel like I've seen you before, so.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Viper Scout says, I saw the movie after I saw The Return of Optimus Prime. So spoiled. Toy Binging jumping in here saying, a Motu My Little Pony crossover would be hilarious in a furry kind of way. I'm with you. Like, I don't think we need it, but I didn't think we need it till now. Grizzlehorn has now joined us. So 73 people watching. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. All right. So here's Starscream. He does glow in the dark. So I definitely will be looking for him. But this guy is not going to glow like Scareglow. I was just looking over at Scareglow. He's not the same colors. That is not the same, but I think you got to give it a chance. So here's all the Transformer crossovers. I think Megatron looks pretty interesting. I think Bumblebee's awful. The fact that they had to make Man at Arms Bumblebee, that, like, couldn't you make him like Ironhide from the movie, I don't know, someone else? I mean, Bumblebee. the Bumblebee persona does not match Man at Arms, in my opinion. So $33 retail. I buy a lot of stupid stuff. All right. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue to cover these. This is Mondo, and this is Mondo's 1/12 Masters of the Universe. And if you're in the market for a high-end, high-priced Motu, this might just be for you. Mondo has mostly been known for their 1/6 scale. Pretty expensive, but that all 1/6 scale is. So I'm not criticizing them. These retail for, I think the He-Man goes for 94, and if you get the deluxe, I think it was 125. And this one only has shown the deluxe, which I think is 125, maybe 115. But anyway, so this is Clawful, and it's from the 2000. I'm sorry, the 200X. It's not 2000X. The 200X, if I'm correct. I don't like the sword. I've never liked that sword, but it's the sword that came with that He-Man, and these look amazing. Like, these look absolutely amazing. And if I was just going to be like, I just want a definitive Master of the Universe line, this is what I'd be grabbing. Okay, Kenzo says 115 He-Man with a $14. Okay. So they're 115, then you get the tariff, then your charge. Now these are on I believe that these are only available on Mondo as of right now. At least the two deluxes are. And they haven't said anything about a Clawful non-deluxe. So I mean, I don't know what else you're going to use this for. These things look amazing. So here you can kind of see the size difference. Clawful is supposed to be much, much, much larger, which is fully understandable. I don't really have a problem with it. But you can kind of see the detail here. They made it so He-Man can actually extend his arm with the sword, which every He-Man, even if they make an arm that pops off, he should have this pose. Just like every single Lion-O should be able to hold his sword out, right? Or was that He-Man? He-Man held the sword out too. No, Lion-O should be able to cross the sword and shoot off his stuff. Eric Thurman says, "Oh my God, I can't afford another line." Can't you? Don't lie. You know you can. Now, I don't know how many of these they're going to make. So this could be one of those ones where they're going to be select. And maybe they'll just stop making them, like NECA stopped making gargoyles. Fuck you, NECA. But anyway, these look awesome. So again, if you're like, hey, you know what? I want a definitive Master of the Universe, a definitive He-Man and Skeletor, this might just be it. But will they do a classic version? Because I'm not big in the 200X. I hate the sword. Everything else I'm fine with. I just hate the sword. And Kenzo says he passed on Clawful, grabbed He-Man. Man, I find it hard. Like, that Clawful just looks so good, and he could be used for so many different things. We got Model Misfit jumping in here saying, "Yo, Loki, great to have you here." So, I thought this shot was awesome. Like, the photography. I mean, first off, the photography that you can do, but also the photography that they're doing is absolutely awesome. But you can kind of see, I mean, if he can actually hold them, and I mean, I made Marvel Legends, you know, that Maximum Hulk hold figures like this, and these things probably, hopefully, are more sturdy than that guy. I'm still not a fan of how he falls over. So here's the size comparison now. Before you, oh wow, Clawful is that much bigger. He is standing a little bit higher. Now this is what the deluxe. You get the whole base. You get his little critters. So you do get a lot with this Clawful for sure. But the question is, do you really want him? Now, I think that this would fit in so many different lines. He's not going to fit in the Rumbler. He definitely will not fit in the Snake Armor. But yeah. Yeah, Tech 48 says that He-Man is. I think they both. I mean, they both look great. And Mondo has done some awesome looking stuff. They've had some QC issues, like so many other companies, but they've actually addressed it, unlike some other ones. Super 7. So this is everything they get with the Clawful for $115. What, $15 tariff? Then probably shipping, taxes. But you get these two little crustaceans. Like Toy Crustacean. Remember that guy who came in? It's not like I'm sleazy. I know someone remembers him here. You see the different heads that he has. He has a stand. I can't look at this and not see Little Mermaid. That's all that I see here. Evil Little Mermaid. So he's 8.5 inches tall, and it looks like he's even crouching just a little bit. And then here, again, if you order this off Mondo and you get the deluxe, you get the base, and then you get this exclusive head. I was watching Robo Don't Know, and he said he believes that the exclusive head is supposed to be one of the other He-Man, based off one of the He-Man figures. So, but yeah, this is yeah, Allison, you're right. He's the whole reason we have the Creamery. You know what? You guys should all order me the Clawful for the Creamery, and then I can not only play Welcome to the Creamery, I can have Clawful up on video. That's me asking for stuff. I don't do that, even though I just did, but I don't really mean it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Ken Best looks like Clawful knees aren't articulated. I am not sure, but man, I know I've seen you before, but not here. So
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
And Ivan Sanchez jumping in saying, King Grayskull, thank you very much. I was trying to figure it out. And also,
wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
All right, so quickly, let's go. Man, you know what? I think you're right, Ken. Like, his knees don't look articulated. I mean, you'd only get a little bit of articulation, but for you're going to spend close to 150 after taxes, tariff charges, and delivery. I want some sort of articulation. So Kenzo, you know more than I do. Does he have? I mean, they make it look like he's walking, but man, Stu for Lunch says Clawful won't bend the knee to any king. All right, so Tech 84 says if you zoom in, you can see the joints. Okay, unfortunately, I can't zoom in. And I would find it hard to believe that they don't, but it is hard to see. It is hard to see, but I couldn't imagine that they would charge something like this, create something with articulation. Kenzo says it will articulate it just like the 1/6 scale. That doesn't answer my question because I don't know what the articulation is of the 1/6 scale. So does it bend at the knees or not? It was a yes or fucking no question. Yes, he bends at the knees. No, he does not bend at the knees. Not, hey, go look at the 1/6 scale one and fucking figure it out yourself. The knees will bend, fool. um, so anyway, if you want it, pick them up again. I don't think you'll need any He-Man after that. I can't imagine too many better ones, unless you want like a classic looking one. All right, Uncle Todd, man, I feel like we're coming down to the end. Actually, we still got some time. I don't think Mattel takes over the DC license till like June or July. So we still got some time for some Batman. But first, we got some Super Friends, right? McFarlane drops these Super Friends. I don't remember their names. I remember one turned into water and one turned into an animal. And if you turn into water, man, you're stupid. If you turn into an animal, that's pretty cool. But even though I'm not interested in these Super Friends, I think they look awesome. We can say whatever we want about Uncle Todd. When it came to the Super Friends, he really took those pictures. He took those like directly like out of the Super Friends. I mean, these things look awesome. So here's the female. Again, I don't know what her name is. Limited articulation. It's Todd, right? You're gonna get what you're gonna get, and she comes with the monkey, and then her brother. Now, he doesn't look right. Maybe it's just been a long time. Well, I know they're the Wonder Twins. I just don't know their names. I just don't know their names. It's like Jane and Zane, like Jan and Jace. No, that's not it. Because one has a Z. He has a Z. She has a J, and the monkey has a G. I'm sorry. Zan and Zania and Gleek. Well, why does she have a J then? You mean Jan and Zania? What? Wait, why does she have a J then? That's not a fucking Z. Jania and Zania. No. See, I have other things to do in my life besides sit here and research this completely, and that's what you guys are for. And that's the charm of this. And you know that, John Battle. You've been here more than enough. The battle of me figuring things out is half the fun here. And we have Red, and I'm jumping in here saying, or some Romulans from TNG. And he does kind of look like the Romulan, that's for sure. So here's Aquaman. I hated Aquaman. I still hate Aquaman. I love the Aquaman movie because my daughter and I found it so fucking stupid that it was awesome. Oh, look, here he is. Matthew Matson, my moderator. Zan and Janya and Gleek. Now that makes sense. I don't know why all you other people couldn't figure this shit out. God. Now everything will be right on the show because my moderator that is always right, he will tell you that ninjas do not exist. I'm sure you've been listening, so you probably know the shit we've already said. Anyway, Aquaman does look like Aquaman from the stupid show. He still looks really stupid. And here's your Batman, people. This is Bizarro Batman, if I am correct, as you can look at the face. Now, probably the easiest repaint he's ever had to do. I think all he had to do was put lines on Batman's face, and then you have a Bizarro Batman. So we've already seen the Batman, and then so probably guess what's next is Bizarro with the backwards S. A matter of fact, you may not know this, but the bat symbol is backwards too. Just leave it at that. So here we have the Bizarro, the backwards S. Bizarro episodes were always fun. I think everyone liked Bizarro because it kind of reminded you of like Pig Latin. You remember when you talked Pig Latin? Just the way that he talked and everything. So, what the hell is Bizarro? I said Bizarro. Bizarro. I don't know. I didn't say Bizarro. I may have. I don't know. It's Bizarro. I know. Anyway, so there he is, and then we have. I want to say Lex Luthor. It's not Lex Luthor. It is Brainiac. Am I correct? Brainiac, with some sort of price gun, so he can scan. He can scan things. He can also put price tags on stuff. This guy is like a Kohl, like he's probably like, the Kohl's employee of the month, probably his own parking spot and everything. Guy goes home with his little his scanner so he can scan shit around his house. Um, Hi, it's me says, if you look close, Bizarro's Batman symbol has a little bat hole. I believe you. But I think these look awesome. They look straight out of Super Friends. So if that's something that you were waiting for, Uncle Todd, he did you just. So nice polo. I need a pink polo with white sleeves and a white collar for Joe Fest next year. Steve Martin says he's a price checker at Spencer's with those shorts on. It took me a second to think of what Spencer's was. And Clinton Jorgensen is here. He is ready to check him out once he hits Ollie's. So it just dawned on me, Steve, but he is wearing short shorts. Like when you look at it, you think like his pants are that, but that's his skin color. So he is wearing underwear. He is wearing underwear. That is for sure. Anyway, if you want the Super Friends from McFarlane, get them now. Page Punchers. We kind of showed this off before. I think last week I showed that these were coming. But here's the Joker. Cool hat. He's got the soft goods cape, not cape, trench coat. I think this does look really good. What Crisis on Infinite Earths. I can't keep up. I forgot all about comics a long time ago, but there's this Page Puncher, and then we get Superman. I had to show the Superman because what the fuck is wrong with that face? That is like, my God, like how we go from like talking about how awesome all of those Super Friends look, and then I see like this face. It's already bad enough he has a mullet, and now he has like the tick face, and it literally looks like it's like starting to melt off of him. But if you need the Superman 0 Hour, I think I still have all these. I think I have all these comics, believe it or not. Woody says Superman is holding in a super fast with that face. He's but you get some right, you get some wrong, Uncle Todd. But then he showed off new Batmobiles, and I'm gonna give this guy credit, man. Like he's not gonna stop until they they rip this license from him. like they will be like pulling him out of the factory that he can't make more DC stuff. With that said, this Batman 66 Batmobile, I would assume it's the same as the other one, but it looks different. I don't know if it's just painted different. I can't imagine if he did a whole new mock-up of it, but this thing looks awesome. This is really good. It's not Jokerized yet, but give it time, it will be. I have a Jokerized one. I bought it for like $11, so I'm not gonna have a problem with it. But this looks awesome. Like, and every angle that he shows of it is better. So, if you were holding out for this Batmobile, and again, I would assume it's different. And if it's not, they painted it to give it a much better look. The wheels look 10 times better, that's for sure. And as you can see, there's other Batmobiles behind it too. So, but yeah. And 3 Star says, I need that Batmobile, but I don't need it with 100 spoke wire wheels. I don't know what you mean. Where's 100 spoke wheels? But yeah, I think this looks awesome. So if you were waiting for this, you never got one, pick this one up. It looks mean. So, all right, Nacelle drops a few new. Yeah, you're right. The first one was too small, but I don't. But there's no saying this one is bigger. Oh, you need it with it. Oh, okay, I missed it. Go figure. Um, okay. Nacelle drops a couple new Star Trek figures. And again, I just think the accessories on most of these are awesome. Now these are based off, I believe, a 7-inch scale, which I don't know why. Yeah, I really wish these people would stick with a 6-inch scale. It is what the majority of the 112 scales are. The accessories here, again, I think they've killed it, Nacelle, and for a really good price. So, and I know Star Trek isn't the biggest thing, especially when it comes to action figures, but Nacelle's making me want to collect them. I'm not going to. I'm going to pick some up probably. Like I said, I really like the Captain Sulu, but they just have something that looks so awesome. But anyway, here we go. I have no idea who this is. I believe she's from Enterprise, but either way, she has her tablet, her little phaser, and different things like that. And then this guy comes from, I believe, from the cartoon. So the animated cartoon that they're doing. So what's a Star Trek? It was the thing that came before Star Wars, but then was forgotten after Star Wars. I can't say that it was forgotten, but it got dwarfed by Star Wars. And this guy, he has like this wood piece. I don't know what it's for, but again, it's a wood piece. It's just these cool accessories that they're giving you a reason to buy these figures and then create your own little, your own little world, your own little dial with them in the corners or however you want to do it. So, but yeah. Cobra Slug says Bones is the best character in Star Trek. He's one of them. I mean, I don't know. I have a special place for Riker, who's just banging every chick that you could ever imagine. But anyway, if you want some Star Trek, here you go. I am going to take a quick breather, and here you go.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
And you're not going to want to miss that cookie. It's worth its weight in gold or something else. Yes, Riker smash. Riker smashes in a completely different way than Hulk smashes. Okay. Matthew was saying Star Trek across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk's Star Trek Trekking across the universe, boldly going forward because we can't find reverse. I can't believe I actually read that all the way through. Anyway, SH Figure Arts. They dropped a Boba Fett from the TV show Boba Fett that everyone I know loves. I do think this looks really good. If you're interested in spending $100 on a SH Figure Art, that's on you. But I think everything looks really good on him. You can tell he's a little bit heftier in life here. Soft goods skirt in the back or cape. I don't know really what you want to call it. Then he has his Sandman staff. But there was something very interesting, I got to say, about this look on this character in the movie or in the TV show, where he has the uniform, but you can also see an integrated like Sand People's uniforms into it. So I do like this. Not something that I'll be picking up, but if you are a Boba Fett guy, if you're a Mandalorian guy, Johnny Reno, I'm talking to you. This might be something you want to pick up. And here he actually really flies too. I don't know if you know this. But yeah, you have the Boba Fett gun. This color is awesome. And look, you even have the dent in the helmet right there. So, but there you go. If you need an SH Figure Arts Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett, you can have it. But all in all, the figure, what you think of the TV show is up to you. But the figure looks pretty damn good. And then here you can see him next to the Mandalorian. And I gotta say, one of the coolest things when it comes to all of this, and I mean the Mandalorians, is the helmets are so universal. Like as soon as you see it, you know it's a Mandalorian. But the moment you see, like, again, the Mandalorian compared to Boba Fett, you can see exactly how different the helmets are. Where you're like, I can't even believe that they look the same. And it goes across like all of them. So again, they look really good. And again, if you want it, go get it. Russell Lemieux says, Dad bod Fett. You would think in the heat and everything that he probably would have like lost weight, but hey, what do I know? Cal Shave says the Boba gun is the little brother of Darklon's gun. Yeah, pretty much. At least although I understand what the Boba Fett gun is, I still don't think any of us understand what Darklon's gun really is. All right. Mafex dropped a whole bunch of stuff. So much stuff that I had to cut things out because it took up way too much space on this PowerPoint. So I believe that these are all from Peacemaker. Well, I believe this guy is from Peacemaker. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't do my research. Sorry, John Battle. I had to cut out so many pictures of here. So this guy creates weapons, I guess, on the battlefield. And there's a lot of nuances within his sculpt. Slingshots, his flamethrower, the guns. Again, he looks awesome. So, and we'll see most of them. Is he? Okay, Suicide Squad. They all kind of got mixed together in my mind. But thank you, Tech 489. But here you go. This is this not the same gun that came with the Xanatos, or is it Xanatos from Gargoyles? It looks very similar to it. But the face sculpt is really good. I mean, I think this face sculpt looks really good. The figure looks good for everything that we can see on him. And here's the 3 different sculpts that you're going to get. A gritting teeth, where his eyes look a little different, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. Uh, the I mean, I'm not the only one that sees the mask looking like an alien, right? It has the big cranium, and then you have the teeth. You don't really see the eyes, but yeah. Um, Blood sport. Okay, sport. Here's all the weapons, everything, all the accessories that you're going to get with it. So this is, I mean, again, looks really good. If it's something you're into. Not everyone's into all this stuff, but it looks like he has swords. I don't know if there's knee pads with them. All the different guns, because he creates different guns, I guess. I only know that because I was watching Robo Don't Know and he kind of explained it. Okay. I said I don't like Aquaman, but there is something about this character that I think he just looks absolutely awesome. I always thought Manta was awesome, even in like the Super Friends. Uh, Again, the giant helmet seems kind of weird, but he was like the saving grace when it came to the Aquaman movies, in my personal opinion. Um, but I just think everything about him, I think, looks really good. So you have these jets in the back. You can see where like the tubing is for the air supply and everything. He has a nice little harpoon that he's shooting. He has his trident. If I remember correctly, they talk about the trident in Aquaman, but it has 5 prongs, so it's not a trident. Uh, the eye blast here, I had no idea. Like until the Aquaman movie, I don't remember if he was supposed to have it. I don't remember if that was in Super Friends. It's been so long since I sat there and watched it. SpongeBob's trident. 3 stars says same here. Black Manta and Solomon Grundy were my favorites. This one looks amazing. I was never like, I don't really remember Solomon Grundy. I remember like hearing about him in some later stuff. When I saw Solomon Grundy, I thought he was awesome. Like, I thought that was actually really cool. So I'm kind of with you there. Not back then, but yeah, I think Solomon Grundy's really cool. Oh, hey, I already got this picture. So here he is side by side. This is from the second Aquaman movie where he has the scar. So I think it's from the second Aquaman movie. But you can see the 2 different head sculpts. And again, if you need a Black Manta, there you go. Here's everything that he comes with. A whole bunch of different tridents. This is what you call cost saving, considering technically you have a green version of everything. Everything has 2 other than the knife, and I guess the harpoon. Then we get Peacemaker, and again, I was watching. Again, a lot of my research goes to watching Robo Don't Know, and I see if I missed anything. And he made a comment about like, this John Cena face doesn't look good. But with that said, we also have seen John Cena day in and day out for years. So that might be the reason. But there's something just off about it. There's no doubt about that. John Battle says he is a 4th-rate Marvel tinkerer. He might be. I mean, I think a lot of DC characters are pale. Cena looking like Pete Davidson. I can't say that because he's not that ugly, dude. This action figure is not that ugly. But then he has his pad of paper and pen. I hate yelling. I don't hate yelling faces. As long as there's an alternate. There's something wrong with these face sculpts. They just don't look right. They just don't look right. It doesn't look like John Cena. It looks like droopy face John Cena. There's so much stuff that's wrong. Kenzo says it's the eyes for me. It's something. And the screaming face is awful. It's not as bad when the mask is on. And the mask on the when the mask's on both feet on both heads, it doesn't look awful. But man, they look bad without the mask on. Here's his weapons that he has, or his accessories. So, and then we have Gambit, and this is a redo, but I believe they said they changed some of the color schemes on them. And I've always loved Gambit. I feel like Gambit is that. I feel like he's that one X-Men that not everyone loves for some reason, and everyone should. I mean, this guy can create energy and playing cards, and he chucks them at people. And if you've ever seen people actually like shoot cards at people, it's pretty impressive. It's really impressive, to be honest. So, but if you need this, I believe this is over $100. This might be the one Gambit that you need. Now, I do not know how he fits in with Marvel Legends. I believe these scale a little small. So if you guys know, please tell me in the comments, how do these scale with some of the other figures? But I mean, this is Gambit. You know, and the fact that you have a nice soft goods trench coat. So I just thought this shot was awesome. So there you go. There he is throwing his cards. I always thought they did some really good. I have a Toy Biz one that he used the card actually used to light up, and then the battery died. I think I got rid of. I think I might still have it actually. I think it was one of the ones I didn't get rid of. Hyperdelic jumping in here saying whoop whoop. Did I say that right? But yeah, all this stuff, man. I mean, I have a Gambit up there. I think he's awesome. So those are your two face sculpts. He's got some crazy hair. I don't have hair anymore. here's his accessories. So, and that's the end of these ones. Woo! All right. I need another quick break. All right. So I'm going to stop and do a little break before I go into the next slides because I do have a little bit more to talk about. But here you go.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode. And hit that bell notification.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. So I'm sitting at home Monday night and I get this DM from some guy named Tony, Legend Series. And he says, what you doing, Hawkster? I said, I'm watching Monday Night Raw. What are you doing? He's like, you got to turn on this thing called Monday Night Toy Ramblings on YouTube with this punk with toys. He's talking about you. So I want to turn on over and hear what this fool is talking about. And I turn it on and all I hear him say is that he was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 of his best friends. And he was there when he watched me pick up that big, mean, ugly giant. And when I slammed him to the ground, he said he felt the Silverdome shake all of Pontiac, Michigan. It shook. And then that's when I realized that this guy, him and all his punkomaniacs that are running wild every Monday night, that it is the best thing going in Michigan that's ever happened. Maybe the best thing ever on Monday night. So, If you're sitting here right now and you're not paying attention, a punk with toys, Monday Night Toy Ramblings, this guy will talk about everything. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can buy your subs. You can hit him with fake copyright strikes. He's coming after you if you get on his bad side. So what you're gonna do with Hulkamania, when Punkamania, when they all run wild on you. And I spent like $1.30 to get that song. Anyway, okay. A little bit of Four Horsemen news. Let me get this all set up here. All right. So they are continuing with their mythic lead, mythic. I don't know. It's their all-star wave. So we have what I believe is a glow in the dark skeleton. Now these are from older waves with new articulation. I still don't think it's great articulation. You can't tell me differently. They are better than before, but they're still not great articulation. But I'll say it again. When you're buying a Mythic Legion, a Four Horsemen Studios action figure, you're buying it for the sculpt and everything that comes with it. So, what are you gonna do when Mossman runs wild on you? He's gonna have to run wild on he's gonna have to run wild on Tony because Tony hates him. I know. How dare you talk bad about Mythics? Again, it's just pointing out the obvious. But they make wonderful figures, and once again, I love what they're doing. That they go back and they're like, hey, we've created better articulation. Still not great, but better. But it's so much. Again, what you're paying for $55 figure, or $50 figure. It's the sculpt, it's the sculpt, it's the paint, it's the accessories. It is not the articulation, but I do like this, and I think this one looks really good. And like, here's Joe Gonsalves. He like waits the whole time. He's like, "You can talk Mythic Legions." He says, "I'm a bit excited for these." Then again, I can tell Joe that you're a little overboard when it comes to Mythic Legions. But at the same time, I'm a little overboard when it comes to G.I. Joe. So it kind of goes both ways. Yeah, I know. You're going to get hit hard for the Mythic Legions bashing. It's not technically bashing. It's just telling the truth. But yeah. So these are coming from my understanding is some of them will be at Legions Con and they'll have a few other like the extra accessories, and then you'll be able to buy them without those accessories. But here you go. This one's a skeleton. Wonderful soft goods. The Poltrons, they have a unique way of putting stuff on there. Sometimes it kind of gets in the way. If you ever watch any of my Legions, Mythic Legions reviews, understand when you're doing something not on camera, it does move a little bit easier. You're trying to avoid the camera. You're trying not to shake the table. So things do go on a little bit easier, but they still can be a little bit of a mess. Just be on the safe side. All right. But here he is with the mask on, with the big, I guess what used to be wings, but they've deteriorated because he's a skeleton. So, and then we get this guy. And I cannot look at this and not see what King Odin. I don't know if that's what he's supposed to be, but he reminds me of that Odin figure from Marvel Legends from not too long ago. So what you see here is you have an extra, and I believe to turn him into a knight, you have to get this one at Legions Con. At least that's what I was I was understanding. It doesn't mean you can't find him elsewhere, but when he's released, same with the other one, they won't have all the exact same accessories. So I don't think you'll be able to turn him just into a plain knight. So again, if you want to army build a $55 figure, that's on you. Then again, who the hell am I to talk about? I think I have more than a few $55 army building figures that I've done. But here's everything that he does come with. He looks amazing. He looks amazing, but again, I totally have that Odin vibe from Thor. Although I think he might be shorter. But either way, the design on this, the sculpt, the paint, the accessories, you're not going to be unhappy with the Mythic Legions, I don't think. So, and then here's how you kind of turn him into a knight. And I do have like that head sculpt, and pretty much, I think everything that's on him, I actually have that figure, but he's in silver. So, and Joe Gonzalez says, I will definitely be army building these. And again, like that's, again, I don't know. I'm sure if I think hard enough, I can think of a $50 figure that I've army built to an extent. But again, if you buy 4 of these at $55, or I buy 8 bats at $25, we're still spending the same amount of money, right? We're still going overboard on toys, and I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Marvel Legends, not very much to talk about, but I did see this come across Marvelous News. I believe that's the name of the website. It's owned by Toy News International, I believe. And it looks like by the end of the year, we might be getting another made-to-order Marvel Legends. So we already got Dragon Man. Then the Sentinel came. We just had the pre-orders go up for I can't think of his name. Mephistos. My God. This is what happens when you do a show on your own and you get stuck on something. You don't have someone to jump in there and help you. Mephisto. That's it. Mephisto. I don't know why I'm trying to make it a and then it sounded like Dan had kind of hinted at something else. So it sounds like we might be getting another. I have no idea what it might be, but it'd be interesting. And yeah, so Tex says I prefer made to order over Hasbro. I think most people do that are buying it. I don't think Hasbro does. And when you look at how they had to put, well, not had to, but Dragon Man went back up a couple of times. That means people were canceling it. Now, Hasbro might start looking at this and going, you know what? We did these made to orders, and then we had people cancel, but there's still such a select amount that, there's still such a select amount that they're going to sell out. So even if, like, let's say, we have 30,000 orders and 2,000 people or 2,000 when we canceled, those sell out super fast. Maybe they're still willing to do something like this. And again, when it comes to G.I. Joe, and I know that's what most people are here for, they might be looking at like almost all the G.I. Joe stuff sells out. So in actuality, there is a lot of made to order in some ways. They just don't tell you it's made to order. The Vamp doesn't look like they're going to do any more of them. Remember, they were available for quite some time. The Snake Armor, the Cobra Claw. So there's a lot of different stuff like that. I can't imagine Mr. Sinister would be a made to order, but they need a good Mr. Sinister. They need a good Mr. Sinister. I'm with you. Like, yeah. But yeah, just be prepared that they're going to do another made to order. Now, here's the thing. Remember this. And I cannot reiterate this more. If you like it, back it, because you don't get charged till it's about to ship. Which means if you realize, hey, I don't have the money, or I need the money for something else, or you just decide I don't want it, then you can cancel it before. Unlike a HasLab where you have to have the money. And again, this is exactly why people prefer this over the HasLab, because technically the HasLabs are coming within 18 months, so you're probably still into it. But I'll tell you this, like I backed, Operation Recall and Call Sign Longbow, and my interest in the 118 scale is coming back, but the interest has completely changed. It's been 3 years and they're not coming anytime soon. It's been 3 years since I backed those, and I don't see them coming before the end of the year. There's like no real updates on them, so I'm still very disappointed in that. And I know some people might say, hey, you know what? You bagged on us because of the Operation Monster Force stuff, saying that you haven't paid for it. Well, I haven't put any money down. Although, get ready for Operation Monster Force because we're about to get nailed with that shit. I say it like I'm disappointed. I'm not. But anyway, there you go. And then G.I. Joe. So there is some interesting G.I. Joe news. And we'll first start off with this. Now, let me say, I can't believe no one has said anything. For some odd reason, I said on, I want to say the Circle of Jerks, that it was either the Circle of Jerks. Yeah, it was Circle of Jerks. I think that's when we went live. Or no, maybe it might have been Thursday with a friend. Either way, it was somewhere that was live, and I said that because people were complaining about this artwork also, this alternate card art. And I said, this is the same person that did Sergeant Slaughter. This is not Adam Rich. I don't know why I thought this was Adam Rich's. Not Adam Rich's, Adam Rich's. I don't know why I thought this was Adam Rich's. Because they never said that. They said the name, and I don't know how I got that mixed up. So I apologize for that. But they are doing this. Now, this is only available on Pulse. There's only 82 of them made for the 82 line, right? And you don't get to pick it. If you order it from Pulse, there's a chance that you will get one of these. And people are very disappointed with it. I will say this, looking at the artwork, it looks like it is an actual painting that they did. Like, it looks like this is an actual painting that then they shrunk it down to be on the card art. Again, I'm not an artist, but when you're looking at this, where this is clearly, I mean, they can say it's not AI, but it definitely looks like it's AI. This here, when you're looking at the explosion in the back and everything, it looks like this is an actual painting that then they shrunk down to be on the card art. Now, you may not like it, and that's fully understandable. I don't think it's great either. It is much better. It is much better than this. But if this is an actual painting, like I'm thinking, this is the reason why he has like so much gray. Why his chin looks like it's gray, because of how they did it. So, again, don't order this and think you're getting it. There is a chance that you might get it. And I believe they said 1 out of 9. There's only 82 of them made. Yeah. Okay, so Highest Me says, yes, the artist showed the painting on his. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'll have to look for that. If you have that, message me that, because I don't know who the artist is. But see, again, and I think that changes things. If it's an actual like painting that's done like this, it's going to look different than an actual drawing, like what Adam Riches has done. And I'm not saying one's better or the other, but yeah. And again, this is why I think the face would look a little rough, because it's done as in a painting. So, and again, if you don't like it, and again, the chances that you're going to get it are minimum to none. I'm not saying you, I'm saying anyone. But anyway, there you go. That is your the standard card back release, and then the limited edition alternate card back, 82 in total. I cannot reiterate. I can't reiterate anymore how bad that artwork looks, and this is what I don't understand. They should have just used the original Flint card. We've talked about this, and there are people that have said, you know what, they would have to pay the artist. No, you don't. They own the artwork. The artist has done the art already, so they own the art. They've already commissioned that artist back in '85 to do the card art. They own it. There is no reason why they just can't reuse the art. So, and again, I don't know why they wouldn't. So, and Pop Blender's jumping in and saying this card art is just as bad as the other one. Neither is good. Why not? Especially since it's a retro carded figure that's supposed to be a take on the original cards. Yeah, I just said that. But again, this one is not as bad as the first one. And the fact that, again, like if this is a painting, paintings are done completely differently, right? It's like going and looking at the paintings of George Washington or Lincoln, right? And being like, oh, that looks awful. Well, it's a painting, not a drawing. So I don't really have a problem with it. Again, I don't think it's great. It reminds me more of like what Hyatt does, to be honest. But again, giving you only 82, you are telling the fans, hey, you know what? This doesn't look good. You know, we know this doesn't look good. We're going to give you a chance to do it. So, Kel Shave says, Hector Garrido isn't even alive. He used the OG art as a tribute to him. Yeah, and again, they own it. Again, that's the biggest thing. They already own the art. So there's no reason not to. They don't have to repay the guy. You know, it goes back to if you, again, Ed has talked about it when he worked at Fisher Price. Like, he had to sign something that if you created something, it is like Fisher Price owns it, right? If you're working at Dodge or Chrysler and you create, you know, a new part for an engine that revolutionizes the engine, you don't get to keep it. Like, yeah, your name goes in the books that, yeah, you created it, but the Chrysler Corporation owns it, or Ford, or whoever, you know? So yeah, there's no reason why they shouldn't. So I'm on board that all these retro cards probably should just be the original. Now, again, I don't see how someone can say this looks as bad as the other one, because it is real. The other one just, again, it looks so, the original, like this one here, this right here, this looks like what should be on the cover of your plastic Halloween costume with the mask. This is how it should look. So, all right. And then it just gives you some incoming reports. Again, this goes back to the whole file card thing that I've said. Maybe you're not going to put the file cards on them. We understand it's the 5 language, but you can put those file cards right back up on the internet. That's what the QR code should go to, each of the file cards. And some of them you might have to tweak a little bit, but you don't really have to do anything. The art, I mean, the writing's already done. You own them. Just point right to it. Yes, Ben Cooper. Ben Cooper mask looks so much better than that. It looks like something you'd see on the Ben Cooper, is all I'm saying. All right. So then we got this drop today. And yes, I've already heard babies whining and crying about it. Can you believe it? Like, seriously. So this is what we got dropped. I have been notified that we're probably going to see more figures, more digital renders released before we get to New York Comic Con. So don't be surprised if we see the rest of the wave that they've already kind of announced showing up before we get to New York Comic Con. So Hit and Run, which I've never had as a kid, he came out after my time. so I don't have a connection to him. But there were certain things that I know people said that they had to have, and that was his bag, along with the grappling hook, and his. This is more on an M4 platform, and I have already talked to somebody that has like kind of sent his notes up to Lenny. That the foregrip looks like it's backwards, and then the sight is too low for having a handle on it. Unfortunately, that's kind of what they do with some of the G.I. Joe stuff. It bothers some people. I actually think it looks good. I do understand, because I actually asked this person. I go, is the sight on the M4 upside down? And he said no. He goes, I think it's supposed to be the foregrip, but it's actually backwards. My guess is we have this grappling hook. There probably will be a rope that goes into the bag, so he can actually use it. So yeah, this is very interesting. I think it looks good. I actually found it kind of funny that this popped up, and then Bobby B posted that he found a the paratrooper at Ollie's, which a lot of people kind of used as a version of this guy. So they were able to get it. So I believe he was the replacement for Alpine, but I could be wrong, because like I said, I was already out of. I never had this figure, and again, even as like I got older, I still picked up figures, and I don't know why I never picked him up. He would be right down my alley. I always loved the M16. I always loved camouflage figures, so I don't understand why I never had him. And I have two of them now, but they're both in really bad shape. Ted Knight jumping in here saying, looks like the aliens and Earth girls are easy. Okay. This is hit and run. I'm sorry. I thought I said that. A lot of people paid full price for the paratrooper. I did. And I don't regret it either, because they're actually really good figures. And I got to throw them up in the air. And then he went in super slow motion at the end. If you haven't seen my paratrooper video, you need to go watch it and watch the end, and you'll be like, what the fuck happened? But I think this looks good. He's got a new a new overlay that's hopefully a softer goods that he moves around, and the figure looks like it's a lot of new molding. He's not airborne, that's for sure, but all the accessories look like they're brand new. So it looks like we have all new accessories coming with them. I think the grappling hook looks new. The knives look new. The pistol looks new. The M16 or M4, that is definitely new. So, but I think people, again, I've heard people complain about it, but I think most people are going to be pretty happy with it. But I would say this, be on the lookout, because from what I understand, it sounds like the rest of these figures they announced, Night Viper, I don't remember who the other ones were, but we should be getting digital renders leading into New York Comic Con. I mean, they did say that they dropped this, but yeah. But I'll be interested. Cal Shave says, I don't bet on Ross and have no Ollies near me. Retail is okay sometimes. If again, I'll say it. If you want a figure, don't play clearance chicken with it, right? Like if you want something and you can afford it, and if you can't afford it, then don't. There's no shame in not being able to afford something. I say this all the time, but if you want something, pick it up. I keep going to Target, and they have that Jean Grey that's sitting there, and I'm like, not for $25, not for $17. When she's $12 and she's clogging the pegs right now, I'll buy it. But it's because I don't need that figure. If I was like, hey, I love this figure, I would buy it because I would want to have it in my collection, right? So that's where, that's how I feel. If you're not into GI Joe, or you're like, hey, that's a figure. Maybe you are into GI Joe, and you're like, I like that figure, but not enough to buy it at full price. And if I miss them, I miss them. It doesn't bother me. Then I say wait. But if it's something that's like I need to have this, but I'm not willing to spend $25, 26, whatever it's going to cost, then you play that, and you play clearance chicken. And if you miss it, you miss it. DJ Mr. McFly jumping in here saying, it looks great to me. I was out of Joe when he came out. Yeah, same with me. And again, it's that figure I never even went back and got. Even as an adult. And like I said, I have two of them. They're both in really poor shape. And I don't know why, because this is like right down my alley. I always loved the camouflage figures. I always loved the figures that were very military looking, but this one I never did. And 3-star says the camo doesn't look like it wraps around the legs and arms. It doesn't look right. Well, one thing, it is a digital render. Remember that. The arms actually do look like it, but it looks like it goes under the pockets. And I don't know. I'm looking at some of the legs. There might be pockets there. So if it has pockets on the side, or maybe they're pouches, maybe it doesn't go right around it. I mean, I see what you're saying, and we have seen a lot of these figures where they don't do a full camouflage, and I think many of us go, "What the fuck? Like, why didn't you?" So, okay, so very disappointed he doesn't have the correct submachine gun. Once again, remember, this is a classified. This isn't a remake of the Real American Hero. And guess what? That's not a fucking hard gun to come by. You know who has one? Top Fun Toys. And you can use my discount, Punk with Toys, and you get 10% off, and you can have that gun. But again, not everything's going to be the same, Matthew, and you know this. Todd C says, this is the girl that got away from Punk. Oh, I can still go get him. I can still get him really easily. But anyway, be prepared. I don't know. What is New York Comic Con? It's really soon, isn't it? But Darren, you're always negative on so much shit. I hope so. I like Hit and Run, but this guy doesn't impress me in the render. It does look like the bag opens though, so there's hope. You get very negative on things too. Remember, this is not a $100 figure. There are some aspects that, yeah, they can always do a little bit better. And if the camouflage doesn't go around and it just makes a quick stop, yeah, it is a like, what the fuck were you thinking? And we've seen that with Hasbro. So, but other than that, I think the figure looks pretty fucking good. He says, I haven't seen anyone create a Colt 9mm submachine gun. Everyone wants the M16 for some stupid reason. Which one are you talking about? I have one lying around here. If you're talking about the what the fuck, dude, I have one. I forget who has it. As I look around, being very riveting for my live stream. But I have a Top Fun Toys one that is the Hit and Run gun. Also, I believe I have one from, I think there's one also from Marauder Gun Runners. I thought they had one too. I don't know. So anyway. Yes, but remember Vietnam, Vietnam's a long time. Anyway, let's move on. So I think we can get to the topic, but I'm going to take a quick breather as it becomes long doing this on your own.
hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor.
Right. Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice. Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HelloDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HelloDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HelloDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right. Matthew, I'll find it. I don't know. I've had it on figures before. I don't know where it's at right now. I don't know how half my shit is right now. In here? No, that's. See, now you got me like wondering where the hell it is and getting aggravated that I can't find it. But yeah, so, but here's one. This is the Marauders one, actually. I think it's the Marauders one. But I know you guys are like, this is riveting right now. Yeah, this is the Marauder one that's very similar to it. Let's remove this. Very similar to what he had. This is a Marauder one, I know, because magazine actually drops down. But there is a Top Fun one, too. So, or you can just go on their website and find it. How about that? Then order it. So then you have it when it comes in. And then you guys can stop being fucking babies and not have the exact same thing that you had in the fucking 80s. Good fucking Lord. Anyway. So, the topic was Pulse, where fans come first, do better. Well, he didn't have a submachine gun. He had the M16. Right? Tony, tell him exactly what weapon he had. Tony knows exactly what it is. Anyway, so admittedly, I am somebody that has told people, stop bitching when Amazon sends your shit in a fucking bag, or Target, or Walmart, right? They're not collectors. They are, they're looking at the box like they look at a fan box, as they look at an air fryer box. Hey, some kid's going to open this. So who cares if the box gets damaged a little bit? We're collectors. We feel a little bit differently. But when it comes from Amazon in a bag, or from Walmart in a bag, or in a box that doesn't fit properly from Target, I tell people, hey, you're ordering it from these places. They're not collectors. They're not going to, they're not packing it properly. And not that they shouldn't, but I fully do understand that, right? And I think people bitch about every little fucking thing, okay? Because I've seen people that complain about things that are just so fucking minuscule. But anyway, Popular says, nice full screen picture. Point that finger. Do better, Senator. So, when it comes to a company like Hella Dope Toys, when it comes to Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Nerdzoic, right? The CMD store, If you're ordering from the CMD store and you're paying those tariff charges, God bless you. And it's no offense to those guys, but man, they don't have a choice but to pay the tariff charges. So the BBTS, they always package it nicely. Held Up Toys, you hear in their commercials how they package it. And seriously, sometimes their packaging is overdone. Entertainment Earth never had a problem with it. Again, Amazon, Target, Walmart. You're playing with fire because they're not collectors. They don't give a shit. But Hasbro Pulse is different. And this is a specific company that knows that these are for collectors. Now, this goes back to Zartan and the Storm Shadow release. Now, these were my figures here. You can see the card art. And these were literally pushed into a box that was too small for them. The other pictures over here is actually from Baldy's, from well before him and I were doing a show, and I asked if I could use it. If I remember correctly, I believe this is his. And this is one of those issues where it's like they literally cram stuff into it. Now, they are collectors. Well, they may not be collectors, but they're working for a collector company. Hasbro Pulse, right? It's not just Hasbro. They should be taking better care of this stuff. And this has become a problem because, in my opinion, I might be an out-of-box collector, but as you guys know, you see my walls, I still keep all my boxes. Even the cards I keep. I get rid of the bubble. But I've accepted, hey, if I get it from Target, Walmart, Amazon, I might get fucked and I have to buy it somewhere else or get someone that doesn't want theirs. But I ordered something from Pulse. It should come in nice shape. It should not come how Baldy stuff came here. It shouldn't even come as bad as mine. Mine only had 2 figures. That's the reason why it's the way that it is. All right. But this has been a huge problem recently with Pulse. And that's this. Oops. This is how my slice and dice came. Now, I've had numerous figures come this way. And I know many of you have had the exact same thing. A box that is way too big for the figure, which is understandable if that's what they have. And it has this paper wrapped around, which is actually pretty good. Packaging if you have enough in there. But the fact that this is how my slice and dice were, and I could feel, and I knew it. I already saw people getting it. I knew exactly how it was going to come. They just threw this in there. And so obviously you can see this is the size of the box. And this is the size of the slice and dice box, and this is the size of the box, and that's the fucking packaging. Now, anyone could say, hey, you could have just taken that out, but let's be honest. We've all ordered from fucking Pulse, and we know this is exactly what they're doing. This is where I'll say someone like Darren, who tends to, in my opinion, complain a little too much about things. And Darren, I've told you this to your face, so I don't feel bad saying it. This is where I feel you have a complaint, or anyone has a complaint, because you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. You are collectors, and to be honest, even if like this came from Target, it shouldn't be like this because the product could get broken. It's going to be bouncing around. That's not enough protection for anything. I mean, it's a good thing now that Hasbro is actually using a thicker box than what they were before, so they don't get beat up nearly as much. Pop Blender says, I think Punk misunderstood my comment. I love the full screen pick, especially the do better part. I agree. I hate when the figs come now. I actually don't think I was thinking anyway of how. I think I was trying to figure out what you were saying. I didn't misunderstand it. But Darren here says that's how my slice and dice came. A big box big enough to ship a Vampin. Yeah, and they've been doing this a lot. And again, a lot of your shipping, and again, this may be free shipping. I'll get into that in a second. A lot of their shipping, again, comes from, is the size of it, not even so much the weight anymore, but the size of the box. And this is just one of those things where it's like, just first off, use a smaller box. It's going to cost you less. And considering most of us have Pulse Premium anyway, we're not paying for it. And wrap it properly. So this is where collectors are supposed to go, where you're supposed to care. Again, Amazon, Target, they don't give a shit. Now, someone did say up here what Amazon, Amazon always replace it if there's that's another thing too. Amazon is going to take care of it. They're going to replace it if they have it, right? And I have also been told that if you order something from Walmart and you say that this is a present and you want it in a box, they will put it in a box for you. I just always forget to do it anytime I orders from there. Matthew says mine came in a giant box, the same box my 2X snake armors came in. Yeah. Again, like this was a fairly large box. As a matter of fact, the picture doesn't really do it as much justice. But again, you can see exactly how it was bouncing around, right? I mean, and it's not even protected on the side. Now, again, I'm going to open my fucking figures up, but you guys know I have a wall, and I put all the figures up there. So it makes no sense other than they haven't explained to their employees properly the way that they should do things. Hey, this needs to be packaged better. If it's going to be put in a big box, it has to be so it's not floating around. We all know that stuff's going to move a little bit, but it should be protected on all sides. But the fact is, they're not. And again, if it's bouncing around, there's a chance something could break. If there's any type of electronics. What if this is again, imagine if this is a transformer with all the kibble and the shit's fucking bouncing around. That's going to be a problem. Tony says, don't give a shit how they package them. Just get them to me. Again, but if you get it and something inside is broken because it's been bouncing around, you're not going to be happy with it. And it goes back to what Hella Dope Toy said. Like, people will say, hey, I don't really care. I'm going to open it up. But their thing is, hey, you're ordering something. It should come in the exact same condition. It should come to you in the exact same condition that we send it out. If you're going to open up and tear the box, that's perfectly fine. But that's you. That's your decision to do it. And yeah, that's where the issue is. Tech Fortnite says I had the opposite issue with my Hawk missile system. I don't know. I don't have it. What's your issue? There's in too small of a box? Because we've seen stuff like that. Like again, that's what happened with Pulse before. Again, we're ordering from if you're ordering from Walmart, Amazon. That's where I say they don't really care. They're just trying to package it. Calshave says, years ago, I worked in a warehouse where we shipped musical instruments. You can cut boxes down to fit the contents snugly with very little work. I don't ship it out, but we ship toner for copy machines. They do the exact same thing. The boxes that I have, there's different sizes they can be cut. And there's this thing called packing. You put packing material in it. Pop Blender says there's no rhyme or reason for the size of boxes. It's a crapshoot. As long as the box comes undamaged, I'm fine. It's just weird that they waste all the space. Yes and no. Again, I don't care what size box they use. And I'm the same way. Like as long as the box is fine, I'll be happy with it, you know. But you know as well as I do that if it's sitting like this, even though these boxes are real nice and sturdy, and I mean like the Ninja Force box, the actual Hasbro box, it's bouncing around. And if you're an inbox collector, and again, how I feel about inbox collectors is something completely different. I mean, again, I don't see why you want toys in a box, but hey, I'm not the one buying it, man. Like you buy it, it's like fucking buy a Dodge Viper and you just want to store it in your fucking garage and never drive it. That's on you. I think it's stupid, but hey, I don't care. It's not my money. Real Richard Sampson jumping in here saying, "Hey, Punk, great to have you at the end of the show here." Amazon does butcher packages, but once again, like, and the reason why I say, I'm not saying it's right, but the reason why I'm like, hey, Amazon's just trying to get it to you. You know, they're looking at it as like, as long as the content's on the inside, someone's going to open this up, like a fan box, like I said, like an air fryer, you know, stuff like that. That's why I say, like, you kind of get away with it. Now, DHL, like, they have nothing to do with how it's boxed, but I will get into DHL in a second. So that's just kind of where, like, they need to fix this. Now, on top of this, if you order something and it's one small figure, Hasbro is going to send that out DHL. Now I get it. I get it. It's free shipping, so no matter how it gets shipped, you know, we shouldn't complain. I do have a complaint with the logistics of how DHL ships stuff. And I think most of you know my feelings on that. Once again, my slice and dice came DHL. It went out on Monday. It showed up on Saturday. Now, when they used to use FedEx, if it went out on Monday, I'd have it on Tuesday. The fact that DHL has no real tracking, the fact that DHL literally picks up the fucking box and takes it to the mail is infuriating. And then it just sat there in Illinois for, I think, 3 days. And then it went to Stowe, Ohio, which once again, I will reiterate, Stowe, Ohio, you have to pass by Michigan to get to Stowe, Ohio. When you're coming from Illinois, you can just take a freeway and head straight into Detroit. Yes, DHL is the worst. You spelled DHL, you threw an A in there, but yes, DHL, it's awful. And again, you're trying to save money. You've offered this free shipping. It's just like BBTS. There's 72 people watching right now. Hit that like button, and I'll tell you the secret to fucking getting something in a timely manner from BBTS. Ed says DHL, don't hurry logistics. See, my whole thing is like, you're trying to save money, but how does it save money to pay another company to take your package and drop it off at the post office? How in any way does that make any fucking sense? Now, if you said, hey, DHL is just cheaper and they're going to pick it up and then they're going to deliver it. All right. I get that. But they don't. They literally take it to the post office. And then it takes a longer route, which means it's using more gas, more fuel, more electric if it's shipped by electric, whatever. Like everything about that says it costs more money than to drop it off directly to the post office, and the post office send it directly from Illinois up to Detroit. Now, this is not just a Hasbro Pulse thing. I ordered something that was non-toy related, and it came DHL. And you know where it fucking stopped? Stowe, Ohio for like 3 days. Just And I went, you gotta fucking be kidding me. And it wasn't even coming from like Illinois. It was coming from the east side. And it stopped at Stowe, Ohio and sat there for like 3 days. So it was finally given to the post office to ship it up. And again, no one cares about how long it takes for a reviewer to get something, how much it costs. I've talked about this before. My thing is, these logistics make no sense. As for the BBTS, here I'll explain something. First off, always use pile of loot. To all you people that aren't using pile of loot, I don't understand why you are not. Because if you get 5 figures in, they will just ship them all individually. So if one comes in at 1 p.m. and then another one processes at 5 p.m., you're going to get 2 different shipping charges. Put it in your pile of loot. And then at the end of the day, when you know everything's up, or let's say, hey, all the Operation Monster Force figures are coming in. I've ordered 14 figures. This is a fucking true story. I got 14 figures. I don't want to have 10 come in on one day, knowing that on that truck, the other 4 are also there. Why would I want to pay multiple shipping on that? Because all you have to do is once it's all there, just say, ship my pile of loot. It also works where if you're picking up stuff that's on, on sale and stuff, that you can just throw it in your pile of loot. Monster Force hit today. My pile of loot is inbound. I know they were getting ready to charge. I don't think that they actually, I didn't think they actually started getting them in yet. They were expecting them. Maybe mine didn't. I know that. But you are. Wait. Todd C says people are married. They don't want a box of 14 figures to come in and their wife yelling at them. Okay. So if you have a reason not to, and here's the other thing. You don't have to ship your whole pile of loot all at once. You can ship 2 or 3 figures at once and save yourself money. But all I'm saying is, like, if you have 3 figures coming in and they tell you, right? And let's say 2 of the retro figures show up and the next one's going to be probably in the next day, rather than pay the extra, just wait. Okay? Matthew says, pile of loot is awesome, save for a large shipment. Then they have to FedEx them, and this is what we're going to get into, and you can choose a location for pickup. If it's smaller than you get FedEx ground, not the same. Okay, so here it is. Especially if you're a reviewer, and I shouldn't tell reviewers this, but I'll tell you my fucking little secret where people have flipped out. Let's say I order a new fucking Joe. I don't know. I can't think of one. I get Xandar. They get Xandar in early. If I tell them to ship Xandar, BBTS is going to use DHL now for $4. And it's going to take, I don't know, 2 to 3 to 4 to fucking 5 months to get to me. But you can jump in there and say, you know what? If it's for a review, and I know for me, and people remember this, I am able to be monetized and make some of my money back on it, if not all of it. Rather than spend the $4, I look at it and go, you know what? It cost me $8 to ship it out. FedEx, I'll have it tomorrow. So I'll do that. But if you have stuff in your pile of loot, let's say you've been picking different stuff that's on sale, older stuff, and now you have 5 things that are in there, and now you get one thing. What was it that came in from? It was Buzzer came in. I got him before everyone. Well, now if you have 5 things that say in your pile of loot, you can ship it for $4 because it will go out FedEx, because like Matthew just said, it's too big and it means for me, where I'm in proximity to BBTS, I'll get it the next day. So I will get it the next day. I didn't have to spend now $16 to $20 on FedEx. I still get it $4. But if you have one figure and you try and send it out with the $4, I can almost guarantee you. I mean, if it's a smaller figure, I can almost guarantee you that it's going to go out DHL and it's going to end up in Stowe, Ohio, and you're going to hate life. But yeah, Menhoza says, so if you order something from BBTS all at the same time, they will automatically send it separately. I don't know if they'll send it all separately. So let's say like the Operation Monster Force is coming in. And if 5 of them process in one day, because there's so many of them, I believe, and I found this out when I first got into using them. They sent all the Joes separately. So I got stuck and I got hit with all this. And I was like, I thought these all went out together. He's like, no, you have to put it in your pile of loot. And the pile of loot is not the default. Matthew says, Menhoza, they ship it when you order together. If you put it in your pile of loot, then you can ship your pile of loot at one time. Each order is separate shipments. But again, like if you order 3 figures and 2 come in on one day, they'll ship those out right away. They don't put those together. The next ones will, when it comes out. But again, if it processes throughout the day, you might get stuck having multiple charges rather than just throw everything in the pile of loot and then go, okay. Because again, if there's a wave of 3 figures and 2 come in on one day, you know what's going to happen, right? And also, this might be the prime time to see something else that you've been waiting for. And like, you know what? I'll throw this in my pile of loot also. It gives you a chance to kind of go through and see if there's any sales to throw it on there and get it all shipped for $4. And Kel Schaaf says, I'm in between Pulse and BBTS geographically. Basically, you should get stuff really quick. So I think if you live that close, I don't think they use DHL. Like, I mean, if you're in between Pulse and BBTS, I mean, I don't think that either one of them uses DHL. I think they both use the post office. Again, pile of loot sounds like the way to go just in case, no matter what. Yeah, because something can process today, and I can just tell it to ship it. So anytime something processes, I'm looking at it going, what else did I order? Did they tell me something else is coming? So they've told me, hey, these 5 things are coming, 3 things have shown up. Well, it's just smart to just kind of wait. Let it go into your pile of loot because you can ship it that day. As soon as it's pulled and it's dropped in your pile of loot, you can tell it to process and they'll ship it. Okay, so Kel Schaaf says Pulse is 2.5 hours away and single figs are DHL. Okay, but it probably doesn't take that long to get because you don't have to go to fucking Stowe, Ohio. Although it may. I don't know. I fucking hate Stowe, Ohio. I've never been there. Cobra Strike says I'm all the way to Florida. Takes forever. Yeah, so that's why, again, depending on how much you have, a bigger box from BBTS is, at least from what I've seen, and it sounds like Matthew is saying the same thing, it always goes out FedEx. But if it's one figure, it's Dark Lawn and that's it, and yeah, you're going to spend $4, it's going out DHL. And I can only imagine how long it take DHL to get to Florida from Illinois or Wisconsin, depending on which one you're talking about. Warchest says I have an Amazon hub here, but it's odd. Like if it's anything automotive or home, it's here next day in the AM. If it's clothes, toys, or other shit, 2 2 at most 3 days. So I think that's because I have multiple hubs here too now. There's certain things that they keep on hand, and because there's certain things like, hey, order it now and you'll have it before the end of the day, and I'm like, all right, let's try this. But if I throw like, an action figure on it, it has to come from wherever that is. So I believe in the hubs. There's specific things that they always have on stock or almost always have on stock. If I order the Dove soap and the toilet paper, it's pretty much on hand, and they're like, hey, over $35 within the next 2 hours, you have it before the end of the day. I've got some crazy shit same day from Amazon. Also, I love when you order shit from Amazon and there's like 5 different days that the stuff will come, or they're like, or save the environment and have everything delivered, on Saturday, and you're like, no, I want shit when it fucking comes. I don't care. All right, I'll let my kids figure out the environment when I'm long gone. Give them jobs. All right, that's it. Paul, you just need to do better. Like, honestly, like, they need to do better. Dark Eons says, I have Dr. Doom coming from BBTS. I got a FedEx tracking number. Got lucky, I guess. Sometimes they will. And again, like, I'm just saying in generality, and it wasn't always like this. They started using this DHL and one figure, and I found for what I'm doing within the channel, spend $8 and I'll have it shipped out. Again, if I wasn't doing the channel and I wasn't concerned with getting the content out and getting it out as early as possible, because you don't have to be first. All right. I'm again, I think you guys all know my feelings on I gotta be first and people fighting about shit. I think it's stupid, but it is very beneficial to be earlier, right? And it is great to be first. I'm not gonna lie. But if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't spend extra money to get it. That's for sure. So yeah, that is lucky. But yeah, sometimes it's a crapshoot. So it's not always. But I don't know why anyone uses DHL. They're awful. Again, they used to be airborne many, many years ago. Before I worked at my job. Actually, the job, like the side job that I was doing a year before I got my job, so 26 years ago, they used to be airborne. And we worked on Dell computers. And they would overnight everything. And they used airborne. And we'd have to send the stuff back. And the airborne was awesome. And then DHL took over. They bought them out and they sucked. Liquid Identity says wetsuit reviews 3 months before street date. That's kind of stupid. It's not stupid at all. I mean, again, if you can get it early and you're willing to pay and you have a following, then great. I was able through a channel member, or not a channel member, through a watcher. He sent me the one of the pre-production retro flints. That was, I don't know, feels like 9 months ago. It's six to 8 months ago. And it does great, right? Because no one else has reviewed it. It just sits there, and then when the figure started hitting, there was another jump because it's still in the algorithm and people are seeing it. It all depends how much it's going to cost. For me, I'm not willing to spend $90 to $100 to get something that's a $25 figure early. I will never make that up. So I've grown the channel to a point where I can deal with getting a figure a month or two later, usually a couple weeks. But, if someone's willing to do it, it's their money, and I say more power to you. But at the same time, I'm okay with kind of just waiting now if it's through means that's going to cost me too much. Look what Eddie says. Yep, I'll wait until just before it ships to see the review. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that don't either. I mean, a lot of people I know probably didn't watch my Flint. I had someone yell at me in the comments, tell me that it was a knockoff, that it doesn't look right. I don't know how it cannot look right. I'm like, well, you can say whatever you want. I told you exactly what this is. It's a pre-production one. And he said that the shotgun didn't look right, and I was like, it looks like a shotgun. I don't. But yeah, I mean, Bobby B and Shark, they're the two that are on top of it. At times, Joe Jerk gets stuff, and I've gone the route of getting stuff early, but I just, at the point of where the channel is and the growth of the channel, for me, I have to justify it by cost. And if I feel a figure isn't worth it, now I would spend stuff from, the CMD store, and I would pay a little bit extra. And sometimes I got screwed because there was sometimes that I ordered something and then Amazon shipped it, and I actually got it from Amazon first, or maybe on the same day, right? And now I paid shipping and a little bit more. That's a risk that I was willing to take. Now I actually went and looked how much that Juggernaut would have cost because they had it. And I was like, I ain't paying those damn tariff charges. Those things are crazy. The tariff charges are fucking crazy. But again, there's a reason why people are able to do this. And if you're willing to do it, then good for you, man. Like I don't begrudge anyone for getting stuff early. If they're willing to pay it, I don't begrudge someone because they have an in at, BBTS or Hasbro or whoever, so they can get early product. It's no different than somebody getting an iPhone early, no different than somebody reviewing, the Dodge Charger before everyone else. It's all the same in my opinion. And I've been very lucky in doing this to have gotten stuff first. I had Buzzer before everyone, as I just mentioned. I had Flint before everyone. And oddly enough, I also got CoverGirl early before everyone, and Techno Viper. And before that, I got Recondo, Scarlet, and the Retro Duke from Sergeant Reds before everyone else. It was just, and it does wonderful for the channel. But at the point where I'm at, I've grown to a point where I can drop something 3 days later, a week later, and it still do well comparison to what I would have paid. So, and then Action Figure So Simply jumping in here saying, yo, and same with Steve from Delta 17 saying, hey, Hosed. But I am going to get out of here. It's been over 3 hours. I don't even go through a whole pop anymore, which is good because I don't need all the sugar. 3-star says, yep, you blew your chances to get the top secret ultra rare Chase variant Flint card now. I actually ordered that. I actually ordered that one. And only because I was sent a pre-production figure. I don't have the card art. And when I saw that, I went, you know what? I might as well order it. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe not. I doubt that I will, but if I get it, then I ask myself, do I need to go get the other one? I have issues, but I'm going to get out of here. Tune in again tomorrow for the Circle of Jerks, 6:30 over on Baldy Locks Reviews. That's the only place that you can see it. It's an exclusive show over to his channel now. And then make sure you check out Pop Blender and Matthew Matson at 10 p.m. over on Pop's channel. I do not know if my other moderator, Ed, is doing a show tomorrow or if he does it on Wednesday. they need to figure out a day so I can actually promote that. And again, no Thursday with the friend. I already mentioned that, but I will be on Toy Domination on Thursday. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I need to see more of you, even after Circle of Jerks and Monday, and probably some reviews that I'm going to do. There is a link to Toy Domination. Go over there anyway, even if you don't watch me over there. Check his stuff out. You want to see a guy go out and play with his little 4-inch figures in the dirt, in the mud, and literally leave them out there. This is the guy. Anyway, thank you to every single one that stopped by. Please hit that like button if you haven't on the way out. It's much appreciated. And I will see you guys all tomorrow on the Circle of Jerks.